Test, 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 test.
And see, that highlighted another problem. We still had our speakers on. So if we started the show, he would hear himself.
Hey, good morning from the office. I am BKP, and you're watching North Georgia's only live online morning show. And no, we are not bringing you blizzard coverage of the Northeast. We are not going to be standing out on a street corner. Well, actually, I don't know. You got to be careful when you say standing out on a street corner. Hey, Lonnie, run out there, stand on a street corner, and come back and give me a weather report. I want to feel like the big guys. I want to feel like the big guys. Hey, Lonnie, how is it out there? Well, it's cold, and it's windy, and it's rainy. And we're suspecting, don't you want to do that? Like the big guys? Really? Come on. Give us a weather report from somebody. I mean, I want to feel like it's a disaster. They're bracing. They're closing the streets. They're closing the schools. I need to feel like we're one of the big guys. Go ahead. Just throw me any kind of weather report, Lonnie.
I'm a big guy.
Yeah, but give me a weather report.
It's dark.
Yes, the weather changed. Okay, I'm your host, BKP. We're in North Georgia. We have no weather report for you this morning. We have a lot going on. CBO, the CBO. What is the CBO? The Congressional, yes.
I don't want to do weather.
Have we not moved on from the weather report? You didn't pick that up?
Reports. Robert always makes me feel bad because he does them better than I do.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyhow, the Congressional Budget Office. Do you know what the Congressional Budget Office is? How many times have you heard CBO? Okay? CBO, all right? Now, when any other time do you hear, and I'm going somewhere with this today, when is any other time that you hear CBO, the CBO score? How often? Now, the CBO score is the Congressional Budget Office. It's a federal agency within the legislative branch of the United States government that provides budget and economic information to Congress, okay? So obviously they provide budget and economic information to Congress, the Congressional Budget Office, and obviously Congress continues to ignore the CBO. But the only time the CBO projections, or the only time the CBO is this important, is when there's politics involved in healthcare and Obamacare, and the list goes on. So we're going to hang our whole hat, and we're not going to do another thing or move any direction without a CBO, the CBO giving us the green light. We've got to get the ultimate okay from the CBO. So we have, and I'm not going to get onto this because I want to get onto the things that, yes, the Pocono Mountains, 2 foot of snow, right? That's what they're saying about 2 foot of snow, 18 inches of 2 foot of snow. I used to ski up in the Pocono Mountains, and I do not miss the winter up there. I miss going skiing every once in a while. We used to go to Camelback, Shawnee, I mean, all the Blue Mountain ski resorts up there in the Pocono Mountains. So they're going to have a lot of fun here for the next day or two. 24 million over the next decade. Now, when have we taken anything and the CBO has correctly analyzed it for a decade? Okay? Now, if we have a budget and we see they do not rush out to the front of the White House lawn, they do not rush out, Chuck Schumer and everybody, they do not rush out in front of cameras to tell you how bad the CBO scores your budget, how bad the CBO scores entitlements, the list goes on. Nobody rushes out to give you the CBO score of anything in the congressional budget other than this right here, okay? And 24 million over the next decade will lose coverage, okay? 14 million immediately. So they pass this tomorrow, 14 million don't have coverage. Medicare expansion. Let me ask you a question, and this is the intention, okay? What did Chuck Schumer do? He got on the floor yesterday and he put the big sign up, "Make America Sick Again." Really? I want to know, was your health care coverage that bad 7 years ago? Was it? Maybe you didn't have health care coverage. Let me tell you something. If you're here today, you were here 7 years ago. Somehow you made it, okay? I always tell you, don't let the media create your reality. Medicare expansion, are they trying to confuse us with everything? Are they trying to make this so confusing that we don't understand it? Yesterday, the president did two things. Number one, he held his first, President Donald Trump held his first cabinet meeting. We have a picture of the cabinet, just a quick picture there. Right there is a picture of the president's cabinet meeting. okay? A picture of the president's cabinet meeting, the first time, March 13th, mark your calendar, and still 4 seats empty. That's how long it took. So pay attention to that the cabinet meeting that you're seeing there, the first one, okay? Now, later in the show, I'm going to tell you, or you text me. Text me and tell me the picture, because they all do it. I want somebody to do this for me. Text me the date of the picture for the first cabinet meeting for Barack Obama, okay? The first cabinet meeting for George W. Bush, the first cabinet meeting for George H. Bush, the first cabinet meeting for Ronald Reagan, the first cabinet meeting for Bill Clinton. 706-889-9700, okay? 706-889-9700 or chief@fetyournews.com. Start sending me the dates of Obama, Clinton, George W., George H., or Ronald Reagan, Jimmy Carter. Just start picking them and sending them to me the date. And remember, the picture of the first cabinet meeting for the President of the United States of America, Donald Trump, trying to get things done, is March 13th, 2017, okay? Almost 2 months after the fact, he's able to have his first cabinet meeting. Almost 2 months. February 20th, January 20th, February 20th, almost, okay? So start sending those to me on the dates, and we'll look at those throughout the show. But that's the first cabinet meeting. Now, yesterday, President Donald Trump held a listening session. Now, here's something that the media does not report. They're busy. You got to remember, yesterday, time's up. Time's up on getting evidence that the president was wiretapped. And that's the top news everywhere. Time's up. The White House has not provided evidence. Every group, not a single group has gone to the White House that has not come out of the White House, that's met with the President of the United States, that doesn't say, you know, this guy's really listening. It's not just a photo op. President Donald Trump is listening, okay? Not a group. So yesterday, the President of the United States held a listening session. And Brittany Ivey, I think that's her name, I hope I have it correct, you see the way it's spelled, am I saying that correctly over there? Brittany Ivey is from Toccoa, Georgia. Now, I have told you this, I'm going to tell you this one more time. If you have the other side, what you want to call the other side, the Democrats, the progressives, all the different movements, okay, they're making the phone calls. They're flooding your congressman's phone line. Now, I've told you this many times in the past. If you're listening in Texas or wherever you're listening, you can still do this. But if you're in the 9th District of Georgia, the 9th Congressional District, your Congressman, Doug Collins, is vice chair of the conference committee. That's right, okay? You have an ear close to the top. He needs to hear from you. Your congressman needs to hear from you. Now, Brittany Ivey is from Toccoa, Georgia. What district? The 9th District. Who gets her into this meeting? Probably your congressman, Doug Collins. That's how close the president's ear is to the 9th District. Okay? I'm serious. This lady we're about to see in this meeting is from Toccoa, Georgia. All right? Doesn't just happen. Your congressman. You need to call are you happy with the health care bill? Call your congressman's office, Doug Collins, and tell him, I'm happy. Are you happy with Obamacare? If you're not, if you don't like the new American health care plan of America, call and say you don't. If you have a problem with prescription drugs and the cost, call. But you need to call your congressman, because I will guarantee you, I do not know this morning. I'm going to go out on a limb and I will guarantee you that President Donald Trump has looked at your congressman and said, what does your district think? Guarantee you. I don't know. I'm just going with it. Guarantee you that the President of the United States has actually probably looked over at your congressman and says, what does your district think? And if you don't call your congressman and tell him what you think, he will only know the other side that he's hearing on the phone lines. Because your congressman, I do know this, your congressman's phone lines are jammed. But it's not with you saying Obamacare has to end. Trust me. Okay, now show this picture here yesterday. Brittany, go to Brittany 1 there. Okay, this is Brittany Ivey. She's with the President of the United States. This young lady is from Toccoa, Georgia, and she is, President Donald Trump is listening to her talk about health care. You got the second picture of her? Okay, right here. That's exclusive pictures right in the room with President Donald Trump and Brittany Ivey over from Toccoa, Georgia. Now, all you're going to hear this morning is the CBO score, okay? And we're going to talk about that in a minute. All you're going to hear is how many millions of Americans are going to lose their coverage, okay? You're not going to hear on March 24th, 2016, CBO, cost of Obamacare subsidies climbs by 11%, okay? They're not going to talk about that today. It's not going to happen, all right? They're not going to talk to you this morning about, remember Obamacare.gov, remember the website, okay? You remember how much did healthcare.gov really cost? Remember they said they were building that website for $834 million, $834 million for a website. Remember when we found out it ended up costing so far the cost for healthcare.gov has been $2.1 billion. Is that on the news anywhere? Healthcare.gov, a website, cost $2.1 billion. We were told, we were caught off guard that a website was going to cost $800 million. See, that's it. The CBO, they're not templates. The CBO is not Moses. They have not gone up on the mountain and come down with the scores that make and break this plan. Okay? Whether you're for or against this plan, the CBO and what the media is doing to it. Now, remember that? $2.1 billion for that website. Anybody talking about that? No. Here's a video yesterday of a listening session, and I want to play this for a particular reason this morning. I want to play it because this is not what they're talking about this morning, okay? They're not talking about Obamacare, and President Donald Trump says some things in this that I think Republicans need to listen to that the media is not covering. Let's go to this video and bear with us. Let's make sure they can hear it at home and I can hear it, and then we'll come back. Start playing this video.
So good. They're showing these reports about this one gets so much and this one gets so much. First of all, it covers very few people, and it's imploding. And 17 will be the worst year. And I said it once, I'll say it again, because Obama's gone. Things are going to be very bad this year for the people with Obamacare. They're going to have tremendous increases. And the Republicans, frankly, are putting themselves in a very bad position. I tell this to Tom Price all the time, by repealing Obamacare, because people aren't going to see the truly devastating effects of Obamacare. They're not going to see the devastation in 17 and 18 and 19. It'll be gone by then. Whether we do it or not, it'll be imploded off the map. So the press is making it look so wonderful, so that if we end it, everyone's going to say, oh, remember how great Obamacare used to be. Remember how wonderful it used to be. It was so great. It's a little bit like President Obama. When he left, people liked him. When he was here, people didn't like him so much. That's the way life goes. That's human nature. The fact is, Obamacare is a disaster. And I say this to the Republicans all the time, by repealing it, by getting rid of it, by ending it, everyone's going to say, oh, it used to be so great. But it wasn't great. And I tell Tom Price, and I tell Paul Ryan, I tell every one of them, I say the best thing you can do politically is wait a year, because it's going to blow itself off the map. But that's the wrong thing to do for the country. It's the wrong thing to do for our citizens. So with that, I'd like to introduce some of the folks, and you could say a few words about your experience with Obamacare, and perhaps the press will even report it. Would you like to start?
Come back to me. Perhaps the press will even report it. Well, Mr. President, we consider ourselves the press on some days, and we're reporting it this morning. Yes, Obamacare collapses. It totally collapses. President of the United States said to you right there, he said, you know, the best thing, hey, the Republicans are actually putting themselves in a box because they're trying to do something now knowing this collapses. President of the United States is saying, hey, the best thing we can do is just let it collapse because it collapses. It will collapse. It's just a matter of time, and it's not even a year down the road, okay? Not even a year down the road, this thing collapses. And hey, but who gets hurt? The American people. So the president's saying, I don't have time for this thing to collapse and Americans to get hurt the way they're going to get hurt. I need to just go ahead and do this. But the best thing Republicans can do is just let this collapse. Now, we're going to hear from two ladies. Now, on his left, which is my right, on his left, I forget this young lady's name, but on his right is Brittany Ivey from Toccoa. She'll be second. So we're going to go back, and this is the listening session. And I want to take you in this room and let you listen yourself, a listening session. And this is how open the President of the United States, because all the news you are getting this morning is the CBO score and how these templates of the commandments from the CBO have come down on high, and the world will end if President Trump and the Republicans move forward with any kind of health care law changes. So let's go back to the video right where we are, and we're going to start listening to these comments, and be ready over there in case I stop it, okay? So let's go back and start where we left off if we can.
Would you like to start?
Yeah, thank you for
Good.
this opportunity,
Thank you.
Mr. President.
Thank you.
Our rates are 3 times they were before Obamacare started. We have one provider in our county. We have very little options for what we can and cannot do. We're a small business owner. We're actually not a brick and mortar. We are cattle ranchers. We can't afford our equipment if we're paying these rates year after year after year. Our food source is in jeopardy because of this healthcare law. It's my basic.
I know. It's all right. Don't worry. Don't worry. This is what's happening. It's gone up 3 times, and then you have to pay. If you don't want to use it, you have to pay. That's the all-time beauty. If you don't want to use it, you have to pay. And Tom, you have to pay big league, right? So people say, well, if I use it, I use it. I'm paying too much. If I don't use it, I have to pay a penalty. And do you ever pay penalties? Do you ever do that, or you have to?
We haven't as of yet, but we were uninsured in December. They dropped us for the 4th time after we paid over $50,000 last year for healthcare expenses.
And it's gone up triple.
Yes,
And before Obamacare, you actually had good health care.
we did.
Yeah.
We've had a fantastic
A lot of
one.
people. Nobody ever takes that into account. I'm not saying the system before was good, because it wasn't. But millions of people had great health care that they loved. Now, when you start deducting those millions of people from the so-called people that are happy, you have a very small number of people that are happy. That I can tell you. How about you?
Well, we're kind of the same story as Carrie. In 2009, I left a full-time job to be a stay-at-home mom to 2 kids. For our family, it was never an option to get government assistance. We just don't believe our neighbors should work harder so that we don't have to. So my husband said, if you can pay for our insurance, which at the time was $650 a month for private health insurance for a family of 4, then that was fine. From 2009 to 2015, that private insurance went up by 102%. Finally, his employer told us in 2015, when it went up the final time, an additional 34%, that they couldn't carry our family anymore. So I had to enter back into the workforce, but I couldn't find a job that offered health insurance. So we entered under Obamacare, and we believe the sales pitch that if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. So even though we were going to have to pay $1,300 a month for Obamacare, we thought we'd still be okay with our doctors. We were on it for 5 months. Our pediatrician for our children wouldn't take it. My doctor wouldn't take it. So we paid him $8,000 in 5 months, and we're never able to use it. And I think what makes our family story unique is we're by no means wealthy. In 2014, when we entered the exchange, we made $53,000 as a family. My husband and I together, that was our gross income. And then in 2015, we made together, since I'd gone back to work, $74,000. But when you look at paying $10,000 in health premiums and insurance and health costs, you know,
So it's been a rough
It
go.
has, it's been hard.
And how have you found Obamacare?
We'll be so happy to see it gone. I mean, it's almost put our family in financial ruin, and I think that's the story for a lot of people.
It's put businesses in
That's
financial
right.
ruin. It's one of the biggest costs. It has been disastrous for businesses. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, first of all,
Right back to me. Okay. The last young lady is Brittany Ivey. She's from Toccoa. Okay, she's from Toccoa, Georgia, and in the 9th District, sitting there with the President of the United States. So Georgia's in the House, Toccoa, Georgia in the House, 9th District in the House, telling the President of the United States, folks, those are the stories that, yes, you're hearing some of those stories, but the media is coming out this morning and every morning with CBO, how it will devastate families. Now, let me just say this in the nicest way. The devastation that they claim will happen, is in the lowest economic level, okay? Now, what I want you to realize is this young lady said together they're making $74,000. Her and her husband have to work, and together, I know what you're going to say to me, but that's not a whole lot of money for a family, okay? Well, wait a minute, that's a lot. Yes, it is a lot of money, but when you have a family and you're paying your health care and you're paying car payments and you're paying car insurance and you're paying your mortgage, your house payments and the mortgage and the insurance on the house and gas and school lunches and just the list goes on, there's not a lot of room. My point is, the media is not concerned about Brittany Ivey because Brittany Ivey, and they're in that middle that they call the middle, all right? They don't want to be, now my guess is they don't want to be dependent on the government. My guess is they want to go out and work. My guess is they want to make enough money to support their family, her and her husband, okay? That's my guess. Crazy, crazy thought, right? But the CBO score, that's all you will hear this morning. Folks, the President of the United States is listening, all right? And there's days I take the President to task, you take him to task, you don't like what he does. But let's look at the facts. On March 13th, the man had to have a cabinet meeting, his first one, March 13th. 4 missing seats still, okay? They know, you heard these ladies, thousands of dollars spent. One provider in the county, okay? Pediatricians don't take the insurance that this lady had. This is a disaster for America that President Obama and Obamacare created. And if they'd spend a little more time, so Tom Price with HHS, Paul Ryan, Mitch McConnell, President of the United States, they got to do something. But the President of the United States is listening. He's listening, and I just thought that was important. It was important to bring a positive story out of this instead of hearing about the CBO. Because look, see, this is from October 1st, 2014. As you may remember, back in May, we were told the Department of Health and Human Services, HHS Secretary Sylvia Burwell, that the cost of building healthcare.gov totaled $834 million. Glitches and all, okay? HHS Secretary Office of Inspector General provided its own estimate of $800 million, all right? Folks, it went to $2,142 million to build the website. Now, I'm not going to say it did not have to have all the special things for security and information. I'm not going to say that this is just your average website you could build for a couple $1,000s. I'm okay with that. All right? I'm okay with this thing had to cost a lot of money. $2,124 million. Now, I'm not here this morning advocating for the American health care plan. I have problems with the three-prong effect. I have problems that they can't push all three prongs together, make everything work, and shove it down the Democrats' throat. And the only reason I say it that graphically is because that's what I keep hearing the people say, well, we're not going to do what Nancy Pelosi and Harry Reid did, write the bill on Christmas Eve and shove it down the American people's throat. Okay? I think that should be the process we use. We've had 7 years since Obamacare has been in place. We knew the Cadillac tax. See, the CBO was not able to score Obamacare properly because they put the Cadillac tax in and they kept moving that out. And I'm not going to get into certain details because I don't want to confuse the subject, okay? And that's what the media is trying to do. At the end of the day, if they can get you to believe you'll lose your health care and you will die, then they're successful, okay? Make America sick again. It's like President of the United States just said, although we were not happy with the healthcare system, we were not happy with the healthcare system 8 years ago, there was a lot of things that was better about the system, the healthcare then than there is now, especially through Obamacare. So the point being that I'm trying to make is I think they should. They've had 7 years. This is my beef with the Republicans, okay? I believe the President of the United States is listening. I believe there's things in the Freedom Caucus that are valid, that we need to listen to. I think Ted Cruz, Rand Paul, and Tom Cotton from down in Arkansas, the senators, there's several things there we need to listen to, okay? And I think we should put the whole thing together. As silly as this sounds, I'm tired of hearing the 60-vote rule. Don't want to hear the 60-vote rule anymore. Harry Reid would do it. Okay, Harry Reid and Nancy Pelosi would do this for all the wrong reasons. Pay attention to this. The Democrats, they would do this for all the wrong reasons. But we can't do it for all the right reasons. Seriously. If we know this is the correct thing to do, Mitch McConnell should go in there and change the rules to a 51 vote, not just for reconciliation, a 51 vote. He should slam all three prongs of this into a bill. It should go to the House. It should go to the Senate. They should pass it with 51 votes. And then Mitch McConnell could come back this afternoon and change the rule back to 60 and then let the media spin their heads off for 2 solid years, okay, of what the Republicans did. Oh, my God, he went in and changed the rule. Then, guess what? You have 3.5, 3.8% GDP this summer growth, and everybody forgets what the Republicans did in March. What the hell? Do you not realize that? Go shove everything, the right thing to do, down their throat right now. And then this summer you have a 3.8 GDP growth, and everybody in America's working that wants a job. Everything's going well. Everybody's happy, and you say, well, did you see what Mitch McConnell did back in March and they changed health care for everybody? Yeah, really? What's that matter? You could be so far past this controversy. But no, what the hell are you going to do? String it along, string it along. We'll be in April, then we'll be in the May, then we'll be into an election. And guess what? We'll have one more election where health care will be the center of the issue. And what are they going to do? Say that they're going to fix it? I'm your host. All right, well, look, I'm trying to get Brexit. Article 50 is going in place. The Great Britain is coming out. They're coming out. We'll talk about Brexit later today. 6th Congressional District election, special election. Our guest this morning will be Andre Poland. I think his name's Poland or Pollard. He will be at 9 o'clock, our guest. One of the candidates. We've invited all 18 to interview. Today we go with another one, the other independent. There's 2. After this break, it's time for Karla's Korner. And don't forget the Katy Sissine show at 10 o'clock. Now, we're trying to get Brittany Ivey because I really want to ask her directly how she felt. Did she really feel the president's listening to her and the American people? I'm your host, BKP. We'll be back after these messages with Karla's Korner. Take us to break.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ellijay.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
It's a new year. New you at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper. Ring in the new year with huge deals on a brand new Ford. Right now, get exceptional offers like 0% financing plus a $1,500 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford F-150 XLT. Or get 0% financing plus a $1,000 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford Explorer. Make your resolution a reality during the New Year, New You sales event at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper, home of the Schottenkirk Customer Guarantee. Visit us online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
Don't miss the 35th Annual Atlanta International Auto Show, where you can shop and compare from hundreds of new cars, trucks, and SUVs from over 27 major manufacturers in one location. You'll also see debuting models for 2018, the latest in alternative fuel vehicles, and great special attractions. It's only once a year and 5 big days, March 22nd through the 26th, Georgia World Congress Center on Northside Drive.
Hey, I'm your host, BKP. Good morning. It's time for Karla's Corner. We will not highlight that Karla did not come last week. We'll not highlight that Karla did not show up last week. We'll not highlight any of that, but she's here now.
You know, people are allowed to be sick. It happens.
Really?
Yeah.
You suck it up, man. You go on with the day.
Okay, when we're not going there.
Yeah, let's not.
I could get real gross, but I'm not going
No.
to.
You're not. Good morning. How are you?
Good.
You know what? I've seen that commercial for the auto show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to the auto show in Atlanta. I'm going. I go every year. I'm going. Well, because I always look at the car with the big back seat where the footrest comes up and everything, like the one where somebody drives you.
Well, they have the Kia Sedona vans have that now. Just so
No, I
you
don't
know.
want a Kia Sedona van.
I'm just telling you, they have that now. The captain's chairs,
No,
they
I want an Audi
recline.
A8 or something like that, and I want to sit in the back and with the footrest.
See, go
And I want to pull up to somebody and ask them if they have any Grey Poupon.
Oh my gosh.
That's what I want to do.
Let's just talk about how old that is. I remember that when I was like, we taught, and going, Mom, what's
Pardon me,
Grey
do you have
Poupon?
any Grey Poupon?
What is
That's what
that?
I'm doing. Hey, I'm going to the auto show. I love to go to the auto show. How are you?
Good.
Anything going on?
We have so much to cover. But first, let's recap.
Oh no, I was afraid of the recap. Should I brace for the recap?
Let's recap. So last Thursday,
Yeah.
we had our network luncheon, and we had the sheriff and both police chiefs come and speak at our luncheon. And Brian and I had talked about that they would, hold on, I'm gonna.
Are you about to get me in trouble?
That
Don't
they
get me in
would
trouble,
say,
No, don't
no,
get me in
no,
trouble.
I'm not getting you in trouble.
These are my friends.
Well, Brian had to argue with me as to whether or not they, you know what? Oh, here it is, I found it. That they were coming to speak about recent criminal activity in our community and how you can protect your business and
Right.
things you can do to make sure your business is protected. They also touched on active shooter scenarios, how your burglary system works, and that they would, come out to your business, speak to your employees, show you how to take good precautions, and they even would offer to check your business out to see if there's weaknesses in it or something like that that would cause you to be vulnerable to burglaries.
Okay, so the sheriff, Chief Ed Lacey, right? LJ Chief Ed Lacey, Chief of Police
Larry Callahan.
East
LJ.
LJ,
Yep.
and Sheriff Stacey Nicholson.
We're all together.
there.
We had
Okay.
them all in the room together, which
So
is
how long are you going to
unprecedented.
drag this out?
So, they did not mention some certain key words. There was no mention of hiring, there was no mention of pay, and there was no mention of retaining officers. Hence, I win $20. Just saying. So, just remember that. I win. And I don't even care about the $20. It's just the fact that I got to get on the air and say, I win. I win, I win, I win. I was right, he was wrong. That's the best part. That's winning alone, right there.
Have you enjoyed yourself?
I did. That was great. Everybody clap.
Did you enjoy that?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so recapping still, we're moving past the luncheon. Just so you know.
You want to go, you want to double that? You want to double down on that?
No, I don't want to double down on
Because I'll
that.
make a move that after this.
Maybe, I
I'll put
guess.
a new 20.
I've gloated, so I'm pretty happy.
Okay. Moving right along.
Moving right along. Friday, we, Lonnie and I, and you were there for a couple minutes, and then Lisa was there, and I think your whole crew showed up at one point or another between everybody, Friday afternoon. We cut the ribbon on the new Piedmont Mountainside Emergency Services at LJ. We had a great turnout. I mean, you couldn't even hardly move in there. Poor Lonnie was like, I'm gonna knock somebody out because I can't move. It was so crowded. But we do have all of it on YouTube and Facebook Live on Gilmer's Got It. I know you guys did a press release, so you can check out their press release because I think it was a little more detailed than ours. And but we're really excited. We don't have a open date yet, but we do know that the time frame for the certificate of need has ended. That is no longer a concern.
So, well, let's talk about that just for a minute. I went down and I had to go to a baseball game, so I stayed. No, I stayed until 4.
Was it like a little kids baseball game or an adults baseball game?
High school baseball game.
That's still good. I like high school baseball.
Okay, can we move past that?
I'm just curious.
You got problems focusing or anything?
No,
So
I'm
let's
looking
stay
for
with
an
the
in on the baseball thing.
Let's stay. One, I guess we have to be careful on calling it a hospital because it's not a hospital.
It's not. It's
So we gotta be careful with
Piedmont
that.
Mountainside Emergency Services at LJ.
Right. So that we want to make sure. And number 2, I was able to, and I'll put that up this week, but I went through the entire place taking a load of pictures from the exam rooms to the imaging rooms to the labs. Lottie and I did some interviews that I recorded. We asked a lot of questions about, I asked questions about if you called 911, where would they take you? You know, you as a patient, what your rights are, how they would transfer you, how they would admit you. We got all those answers. I got that on video. So we did that, and there was a lot of people there to see what's going on. This is a prototype.
Right.
This is a standalone emergency room. Lonnie, can I, who is the lady that we spoke with?
Miss Denise Ray, the CEO.
Yeah, she's
What's her name?
Denise Ray. She's the CEO of
All right.
Piedmont Mountainside.
Okay, Miss Denise Ray, I spoke to her and I have it in the interview, I just didn't want to get her name wrong. It is a prototype of the first standalone emergency service in the state. The state will be looking at this. All over the state, there will be rural areas looking at this model. That's number one. And the investment that's been made here
is incredible.
Right. Now, I want to ask you, because not to knock, and folks, this is the same location of where North Georgia Medical Center was located. It's still there, but it's now give the full name.
Piedmont Mountainside Emergency Services at Ellijay.
Okay, obviously the same entrance, you go through the same doors, but when you go inside, you would think you walked into a brand new location.
It's gorgeous,
right?
yes, it's amazing.
You won't, and it looks top notch.
Yeah.
Facility, right?
They got a lot of new equipment, imaging equipment, things like that they didn't have before, that will help when it comes to emergency care and making sure that they can treat people, to a higher level and more efficiently than they probably could before.
And they're still upgrading.
Turn up my mic. It's I got a message saying turn up my mic. It said they can hear you clearly, but they can't hear mine.
Oh, that's not important.
That's not important. Anyhow, but yes, so it is, and it's a model. Speaker of the House David Ralston was there. State Senator Steve Gooch. Do you want to list anybody else, or there were so many you're afraid to forget somebody?
We had so many elected officials that were there that day. They also had Denise called out a certain couple that had recently visited the ER in Jasper. And he was from Ellijay and he had had a heart attack. And they just talked about the benefits, although that he was well cared for in Jasper, the benefits of those just few extra minutes could have done a lot more for him had they been in Ellijay. So.
Well, I want to say something here from FetcherNews.com, FYN TV, as the CEO. In the past over a year now, there has never been a question that has come from me and commissioners. We've all spoke about this, but from me directly in our organization, there's never been a question of the level of care that Piedmont provides. There was always a concern in the community of would there be a vacuum and meeting the healthcare needs of the community. That has been the question, not the level of care that they provide. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I would.
All right.
And we're also, also having this is going to be a great thing for our county because of the amount of money that's having to be spent on transporting people and responding to emergency cares that are not necessarily emergencies because there's not an ER. A great example is if my daughter, we were somewhere and she started having an allergic reaction, I would immediately call 911 if I didn't have her EpiPen instead of trying to get her to an emergency room because I know that I can't get her to an emergency room fast enough, that they would have to give her epi in an ambulance before we could get there.
So on the opening date, we're just waiting on a couple red tape things on certifications to be sent and finalized, but that's well on its way.
So
okay, what else you got on the list?
Today we have a ribbon cutting for Overland Trails and Pouting Cow Folk Art. They're located right across from the Ace Hardware at 4:30. We'll be having that ribbon cutting. Then Thursday from 5:30 to 7:30, the Leadership Gilmer Alumni Association is hosting a social and learn, and they're having someone from the UGA SBDC come and speak about creating a leadership culture in your workplace. So that's a great opportunity. Anybody can come. You don't have to be Leadership Gilmer or Leadership Gilmer alumni. They're just hosting it to have a little social and learn for the community. And then we've got just a slam-packed weekend, which is what I've shared on Facebook, that I would be trying to let everybody know what's happening this weekend because there's so many things going on. Friday, all the vineyards are having live music for St. Patrick's Day. And Gilmer Arts is having their acoustic blend, so you basically can go just about anywhere and get some live music on Friday night.
So all the vineyards, live music Friday night.
Yes.
Gilmer Arts acoustical blends Friday night. Okay.
So now we're going to move into Saturday. Obviously, again, all the vineyards will be having live music and tastings and lots of things going on. Stay Active LJ, which is Carlene, is hosting her first Shamrock Kickball Tournament from 10 to 12 at Harrison Park. The kids and I are going. We're super excited about kickball. I like kickball. You don't have to be an athlete to play kickball, pretty much. It's pretty easy. I like kickball.
We're going to play old school rules?
See, I've heard about this. What is up with it? Charlie's like, you just wait. You just don't even. I'm like, you go out there, you kick a ball, and you run to a base. He's like, no, that's not all there is to it. You just don't know. What is this with this old school rules? There's all this stuff about kickball and it not just being kick a ball and run a base. I don't know. Apparently, depending on how you play, depends on how hurt you're gonna get. I don't know, but anyway, I'm excited about it. The kids are excited about it. We're gonna get up and go play kickball. And then
my question was, we were going to play old school rules. Man, you're having a hard time focusing. Move right along. Time is short. You spent half of your segment telling people you won $20 from me and gloating. So move right along. Kickball, I just want to know if it's going to be old school rules.
I don't know. Ask Carlene.
Well, I will today.
Okay, St. Patrick's Day. P-E-T-Rick's Day, not Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day, which is where downtown LJ celebrates pets and shamrocks and all good times, and we'll have a parade and the parking lot party and live music and vendors, and that is from 11 to 5 in downtown LJ. Next after that is...
Slow down.
What? I got a lot of stuff
Slow
going
down.
on.
St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
Well, you never gloss over the pups. You know that with me. So that is when?
11 to 5.
Is Missy coming?
I'm going to try to run home between the kickball game, get her, and come back.
Just checking.
I'm
bringing sassafras.
I know that depending on how long the kickball game, depends on whether I get her back in the fray.
Leash down, she just starts dancing.
Oh, she won like last year.
No, that was Pup.
Pep. Why do you always talk about sassafras and not Pup?
Well, because move along, you're going to get me in trouble.
Yeah, anyway.
Pup could be watching the show, get upset.
Shamrock Fun Day at Fort Mountain State Park from 12 to 4:30 on Saturday. They're going to be having panning for gold. They're going to have a group hike on the Gold Mine Trail, scavenger hunt, face painting, crafts for kids. So lots of good things happen at Fort Mountain State Park. So that's just a few things that are going. There's art exhibits at Gilmore Arts. There's going to be an event, I think, in Blue Ridge as well for St. Patrick's Day. They've got an art exhibit at Blue Ridge Arts Association. There is so much that can be happening this weekend that you could get into. So lots of fun stuff. Sunday, Homeward Bound is having an open house and pet adoption day at the ranch from 1 to 4. So I'm just trying to help spread the word for them. You can go out to the ranch, see the animals, adopt a pet. So if you go to St. Patrick's Day and you see all these people with their dogs and you kind of start to feel jealous, Sunday you can go adopt one at Homeward Bound. And then I didn't write down the time. It's on our calendar though, but I think it's at 3 o'clock. Sunday at 3 o'clock, they're hosting a groundbreaking for the new Gilmer Christian Learning Center at Clear Creek Middle School. Those that support.
So Sunday's the groundbreaking for
the new facility for Gilmer
Christian Learning Center, the middle school.
Yes.
Facility.
They've been at the high school for a long time.
Well, there'll be 2 locations.
Yeah, they'll have 2 locations.
They'll have a high school campus and a middle school campus.
Yes, which is very exciting.
Yes.
So that's just this weekend. That's a lot. If you go to our calendar events on our website, gilmerchamber.com, all of these events are on our calendar events, and you can get more details and information and also find out who's playing at the vineyards. So if you're trying to decide which one you want to go to, or go to all of them, you got plenty of time. Check that out, and then we've got some more events happening next week. So on next Tuesday, stay tuned because there's lots more. We're just getting into the season where lots of things are happening every weekend.
You see what I got?
Oh!
I got a text. You had to bring up Pup.
See? That wasn't me, that was you.
Okay, I was listening to all that, and you know what? The only thing I got out of that whole entire list,
it's St. Patrick's Day.
No, when did you get those cool glasses?
When I got blind.
Those? I didn't ever see you wear those frames.
Because I had a different pair.
That was the question. Did you miss the question, Gracie?
Yeah, I wear these when my eyes are bothering me.
Oh, okay.
And they're bothering me.
Are they bothering you?
Yeah, this weather. Bradford pears bloom, then it drops down to 30 degrees, right? And then it's like...
Exactly, I'm with you.
You want to talk about a culmination of sickness. It's like, let's be 70 degrees and bloom Bradford pears, and then let's drop down to 30 degrees and see how quickly we get sick. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't need to highlight that your eyes are bothering you. I just seen you wearing your cool glasses.
Yeah, I know. My eyes are like super puffy today.
Well, I didn't know, you know, I have glasses, and like when I see your age group, I don't know how to go. I think I'm about to get in trouble with these cool glasses. And I'm
my age group.
I don't know what your age group is, but when I see that and I think, well, maybe my glasses are not cool anymore, and I want to have cool glasses. So I always check that out.
Listen.
All right, you're supposed to be helping me with what's cool and what's not.
I'm about doing your thing.
What?
Yeah, there's not a such thing, oh, this is cool for everybody. Do what's cool for you. Those glasses suit you. These glasses suit me. Paige has ones with little flowers on the corner. Those suit her. Do your thing. Are you just
saying that?
No, it's true. And see, like, you like your hair this way. I'm not going to go, oh, because Brian's doing
How do I like it?
This way. You're starting to go back to the side again. I think that's good. Did I just turn my thing off?
I don't know. Okay, all these things are going on. We have plenty of wine tasting. We have plenty of music Friday night, and we have acoustical blends over at Gilmer Arts. So Friday night at all the vineyards in the Gilmer County area, you can check out the wine tasting with live music, also Gilmer Arts. Acoustical blends Friday night, and then Saturday we have a kickball tournament. We've yet to determine if it's going to be old school rules or not.
Does that mean you throw the ball at me when I'm running to the bases versus like to the? I don't know how this works.
Well, I don't know what I don't have a time to go through the whole list, but you throw the ball at the person now.
To get them out?
Yes. I mean, you can throw it to first like a first baseman.
That's what I'm saying.
No, but that's not how you do it. Like if I pick up the ball and you're running to first,
you're gonna knock me out like a dodgeball tournament.
I'm gonna wing it as hard as I can at you, and you're gonna have a red spot if I can wind up and take you out going to first. You're gonna hear. And you're gonna be like,
see,
ow.
That's the
and
my mom is in my head when I think about this. Do unto others you would have them do unto you, and I'm not gonna throw a ball up somebody's head because they're gonna do it to me.
All right, let's go in the Wayback Machine. You ready? In the 6th grade, we'll go to the 6th grade. You ready?
I thought you were gonna say the 6th century.
Chill, I want to go. We have to finish, but the people at home probably want to hear the story.
Okay, they want to hear the story.
Okay, let's go on the Wayback Machine to the 6th grade.
6th century.
That's how we let a girl know we like them.
Oh, jeez.
Is that when we play kickball. Now, listen to me, Mr. Kolb. I'll go to Mr. Kolb. Mr. Kolb was our 6th grade teacher, okay? And he would tell us in the morning, if we stayed on track through all of our classes throughout the day, and got our work done, the time we saved, we would end the day in the spring, and we'd go outside the side door of our classroom and we'd play kickball for the last 15 minutes or whatever we had, if we would get the lesson plan done. So the kids would...
That is unheard of in these times.
These times?
These times.
So we would get our lesson plan done. We would work real hard because we get our lesson plan done. We're in the 6th grade, okay? And we'd have 20 minutes at the end of the day for the last bell for buses. So we go out the side door of our classroom, and...
They had buses?
Can I finish this? We have things to do. They had buses back then, okay? And you want to go there? You want to go there? Let's go there. Let's go there. No, you made me mad. Yes, we had buses, and I'll tell you what we did not have. You want to hear what we did not have? A parent pickup line. We did not have one. We had buses, and everybody's kid got on the bus, and the bus took your butt home. Is that why did you get me started?
I love it.
Okay, back to you.
They had emissions though back then too, you know.
Okay. I'm trying to tell kickball, my time is limited.
Kickball.
So we would go outside in 6th grade. So that's how you I'm not gonna mention this one girl's name, but first name was Renee. I'm not telling her last name because
keep going.
So she kicks the ball, right? She's running to first. So every guy tries to get the ball. She's like, ah. So that's how she knew you liked her, is because you ran.
I'm pretty sure she didn't go, that dude that pegged me with the kickball, he thinks I'm cute.
That's what happened. I'm glad you got to it. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, Karla's Corner, where you learned today we did have school buses, but we didn't have a parent pick. You don't push my buttons this morning. I'm not against.
And you didn't give a girl flowers, you pegged her with a kickball.
Old school rules, right here, baby. Saturday, right? Kickball?
Saturday kickball.
You want to go play, and then St. Patrick's Day.
And then St. Patrick's Day.
And the temperatures are going to warm up, so don't worry. We're telling you this today on Tuesday, but by the weekend it's going to warm up, and these cold days are going to be behind us. We're going to have a great time this weekend. I'm your host, BKP. You can find all of this on the... Oh,
one more thing.
Hurry, one more thing.
Did you know that it's the anniversary of the blizzard of '93?
Yes, it's the anniversary of the blizzard of '93. I'm glad we remembered that. Okay.
24 years ago.
Yes, Karla. Yes, 24 years ago. Blizzard. Okay. You can find all of this information on the calendar on the what's the name of the website?
GilmerChamber.com.
GilmerChamber.com. If you'd like to visit the chamber, it's on the northbound side of 515, and there's a big green sign that says Gilmer Chamber. Stop and say hello to everybody. They'll help you anyway. If you're visiting the area, if we have viewers from Florida or anywhere that's come to the area, you stop there, go in. They'll help you in any way. They'll help you find the vineyards with the live music and the tasting and all the events if you don't have a chance to go to the website. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning. Karla's Corner. Did that work?
That worked.
Did you enjoy today?
Sure.
Okay. You want to double or nothing on that 20? Because I'm a little short today, so we're going to have to pick something
Like I
up.
said, gloating's good enough for me.
When we come back on the other side of this break, we're going to continue our interviews. We're going to continue our 6 Congressional District candidate interviews, 18 candidates, and we're doing 1 interview a day. We've invited all 18. I'm your host, BKP. Take us to break. Thanks for showing up today. Try it again next week.
I will.
Will you?
Yeah.
All right. Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia, Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we make everything better. And no matter what vehicle you drive, our new state-of-the-art service center can keep you running like new with factory-trained technicians, genuine parts, and value pricing. Even convenient Saturday service hours and online appointments. So if you want to extend the life of your vehicle, let the Days service experts help. Your better day is just ahead at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where we service whatever you drive.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we make everything better. It all starts with a huge new Chevy selection. Then we heap on the discounts to make sure your Chevy price is the lowest you'll find anywhere. And if you like great customer service, you'll love it at Days. Bigger selection, lower prices, easy financing, and great customer service. Your better day is just ahead at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys cost less.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ellijay.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
It's a new year. New you at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper. Ring in the new year with huge deals on a brand new Ford. Right now, get exceptional offers like 0% financing plus a $1,500 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford F-150 XLT. Or get 0% financing plus a $1,000 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford Explorer. Make your resolution a reality during the New Year, New You sales event. at Shottenkirk Ford Jasper, home of the Shottenkirk Customer Guarantee. Visit us online at ShottenkirkFordJasper.com.
Don't miss the 35th Annual Atlanta International Auto Show, where you can shop and compare from hundreds of new cars, trucks, and SUVs from over 27 major manufacturers in one location. You'll also see debuting models for 2018, the latest in alternative fuel vehicles, and great special attractions. It's only once a year and 5 big days. March 22nd through the 26th, Georgia World Congress Center on Northside Drive.
Hey, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Let's see. Okay, I want to make an announcement because I want everybody to know that I'm trying to get this correct. Yes, we will have, now here's what I'm going to do. We're going to have something, we're doing something different. Now, our candidate, I'll talk about that. He has not called in yet for the 6th District. But to let you know, the young lady that you seen in the video this morning with the President of the United States from Toccoa, Georgia, will be with us. I just got a message. She will be with us at 9:30 this morning. So we're going to talk to Brittany Ivey. And let me tell you what I want to talk to her about. So tell your friends that we're going to have a special guest at 9:30, somebody that met with the President. Not a congressman, not a senator, not a multi-millionaire. We're gonna talk to a citizen that sat down and spoke to the president. We're hearing about the CBO. We're hearing all these things, but you did not hear any reporting that the President of the United States, Donald Trump, held a listening session and brought people in to sit down and listen to their story about health care and what they've gone through with their families. So Brittany Ivey is going to be our guest she's going to be our guest at 9:30 this morning, and we're going to ask her what it was like to be next to the President of the United States, and I might even ask her, was she a little nervous when she was telling him her story. But you know what we hear? We hear everybody that comes out of a meeting with the President of the United States that they really feel the President was listening, and I want to hear that firsthand. So Brittany Ivey will be our guest at 9:30. At 9:30. That being said, our candidate has not called. What we have done on our interviews is we've left it up to all of our candidates to call in, okay, to call in at 9:30 or at 9 o'clock for their interview. And for the 6th District, our candidate has not called. We don't know the reason. Maybe something came up. So, let's switch gears before 9:30. I had this up just a minute ago, my apology. Now on Netflix, wait a minute, we're going to switch gears. On Netflix, have any of you watched the show The Crown? Have you watched The Crown? I really enjoyed The Crown. I'm waiting for the next season. I enjoyed The Crown. But you remember every week they would show up from Parliament with the official box for the Queen to review every week. This morning, I didn't show it, there's a picture of the Queen. And as Queen Elizabeth sits with her private audience room, in Buckingham Palace, next to one of her official red boxes in which she receives documents and papers from government officials. So supposedly every week that one of the official red boxes goes up to Buckingham Palace in her private sitting room, And I don't know if every week the Prime Minister comes, but the Prime Minister comes from time to time to explain the documents in the case. And I don't want to get into a monarchy and how it works, but there's certain documents the Queen has to sign off on, all right, that they're supposed to, King or Queen is to sign off on. Queen to give Brexit bill approval clearing the way for Theresa May to invoke Article 50 before March 27th, okay? Last night, Theresa May headed off a rebellion by pro-European conservative MPs as the government overturned attempts by the House of Lords to frustrate her plans to clear Brexit. So the MPs, which I don't want to get into the details on that, the MPs voted overwhelmingly to reject the two House of Lords amendments that aim to guarantee the rights of the EU migrants and give Parliament the meaningful vote to finally deal with Brussels. Article 50, which that's what they have to do, is expected to receive royal signature from the Queen this morning, so today. So Queen expected to formally sign Article 50 bill into law. Brexit bill passes through Parliament without amendments. They wanted to put all these amendments on it. All right? So Brexit is well on its way. We're going to hear that by March 27th. Remember, the only reason I'm bringing up Brexit, remember the world was supposed to end if Britain decided to get out of the EU, the European Union. If the Brexit vote was positive and they voted to get out of the EU, all the media, how bad things were going to be in the world if that happened, okay? Economic collapse for Europe. Go back. We don't have time. Go back, help yourself, and look at all the articles of what was economically going to happen within within Great Britain, if Brexit went through. Okay? Now, Article 50, watch what the news does. Article 50 will be signed. Article 50, they have to give to the EU, and it's a divorce document. That's what Article 50 basically equals, is a divorce document from the EU. When they submit Article 50, we understand, I'm not going into too much detail, I understand going into Article 50 that the EU will make this as complicated, okay? What is their monetary system, the lira or whatever? The EU is going to be asking for 60 billion in payments before they will sign off on the divorce document, Article 50, so forth. But they're going to make it as difficult as possible for this to finally happen. But watch what happens over in Europe, a couple things. Number one, go back in time, read all the articles of how bad things were going to be. Keep in mind that the American people voted in Donald Trump after Brexit, okay? That was our Brexit, all right, from the establishment. Keep in mind how bad things were going to be, and now if Article 50 goes through, start watching the news of the other countries in the EU saying this could happen, okay, when it goes through. All right, I'm your host, BKP. I'm going to take a brief break because I need to send back a message to confirm our guest, and then I'm going to come back, and our guest is going to be for a couple more minutes, and our guest is going to be here at 9:30. I want you to tune in, because to me, this guest is as big as anybody I've ever had on this show, for the simple reason she met the President of the United States yesterday, and two, real Americans. I say real Americans, I could get in trouble there. The America that went out and voted for Donald Trump, and he listened during that election, and he's still listening now. So Brittany Ivey will be my guest. She was in a meeting with the President yesterday at 9:30. Let me take a break, get this set up so I have everything right, okay? Take us to break there, Sam. Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia, Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart.
Better days ahead.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we make everything better. And no matter what vehicle you drive, our new state-of-the-art service center can keep you running like new, with factory-trained technicians, genuine parts, and value pricing. Even convenient Saturday service hours and online appointments. So if you want to extend the life of your vehicle, let the Days service experts help. Your better day is just ahead at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where we service whatever you drive.
Better days ahead. Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
And we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Now, look, folks, can you, wait a minute, before we, all right, Karla was here earlier. Let me get this correct, okay? Saturday, there will be a kickball tournament down at Harrison Park, okay? They're going to play kickball. Do you remember the time, anybody? No, it's on the website. Before St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, so it's probably going to be about 10, I think.
About 10 in the morning, but anyhow, they're playing kickball down at Harrison Park, and this is Stay Active Ellijay. Carlene sent me a message. Old school kickball baby, exclamation point. I had to put that in. Old school, we were asking about the rules. See, I said to her, are we playing old school? And she said, everybody's asked that. And So Carlene said, old school kickball, baby. And then she said, and by the way, everybody has asked that. So I asked the question. So if you go down Saturday morning, you can play old school kickball, baby. Hey, can you put the picture up of, this is going to be our guest. Brittany, just give me a quick picture there, okay? Brittany Ivey from Toccoa, Georgia, is going to be with us at the bottom of the hour, okay? That is her sitting next to Donald Trump yesterday in a healthcare listening session. And what we want to do is we're not going to get, we don't want to get Brittany on here and talk policy and everything. We played the video earlier of her explaining her health care to the President of the United States. So we're not going to get on here and get into policy and what she has seen in the new bill and things like that that she likes or doesn't like. I want to know from her directly if she really, what she felt like in that room, because everybody comes out says they really feel that President Donald Trump listens to them. So this is going to be great. She will be our guest here in about 8 or 9 minutes. You want to listen in. She was with the President yesterday, so you can take that down there. And so when she calls in, immediately we're going to go to break. We're going to have some cards roll for some advertisers, then we're going to come right back. So don't leave, okay? Don't leave your TV when we go to break, because, you know, we talked this morning about all that we are hearing is the CBO score, okay? Now, today is the 14th, okay? What is the 15th of March? Is there one news account? Now, I don't know what they've done. Maybe they've already done something and I missed it. If you could send it to me, 706-889-9700, and let me know. But maybe I was watching baseball and maybe I was paying attention to basketball and other things and I totally missed it. But is March 15th the day that the debt ceiling, we reached the debt ceiling and a decision has to be made on whether to raise the debt ceiling? Have we done that? Could somebody send me a message, 706-889-9700, and tell me if we've raised the debt ceiling and I just was not paying attention? Okay? I don't know. So all we're looking for this morning is the CBO score. It does not matter if where you go this morning. If you go to the Washington Post, the top says 24 million uninsured by 2026 under GOP plan. CBO says, okay? Now there's a graph of projected number of uninsured Americans and how many will be uninsured if the plan goes in effect. That's right. How about the top of the Washington Post saying that if the feds continue to raise interest rates, the money that you and I borrow as the American people on a daily basis to keep this thing afloat, the cost of repaying that, the interest alone will roll into over another it's trillions of dollars in the next 10 years. Trillions. You see, it doesn't matter. Interest goes up. Cost of borrowing money goes up. That may be okay for buying a car. You might say, hey, if it's car loans 4% and it's 5.1 and you have a good job, you might not have a problem with that. Mortgage interest goes up a half a point, you might not have a problem with that. But let me tell you something, interest keeps creeping up on that national debt. No matter who's in the Oval Office, where is the score on that this morning? No score on that, okay? White House budget directors for Pinocchio claims about how lawmakers reviewed Obamacare. Losers of the GOP health plan, some of the most pro-Trump places in America. So they are going right here, Washington Post, this morning, March 14th, 24 million lose. White House budget director Pinocchios. The losers of the health care plan, the losers in the plan will be the pro-American. Remember, that is, they're going after West Virginia, Kentucky. White House attacks on budget office could set up future battles on agenda. And then we've got our wintry mix. We don't want to miss the wintry mix. That's on the Washington Post this morning. But I'm for sure the New York Times is going to start out their day much better. New York is spared the worst as storm hits Northeast. Snow, how to make the best of it. Oh, 24 fewer Americans could receive health care coverage. Goes on and on. Today was the last day, right? Today was the last day that the president could provide proof that President Obama wiretapped the Oval Office. Folks, we have to do something with Obamacare. You heard the President of the United States say earlier today on that video that you will not see anybody break down anywhere else, that it collapses. And what did I tell you? Call your congressman. Call Congressman Doug Collins and talk to him. I am urging everybody to call the congressman's office. Call them and say, hey, you know what? This is what I like about the American health care package. This is what I don't like about it. Okay? This is Obamacare has to end. Tell your story of I want the President of the United States to look at your congressman and say, what does your district think? And your congressman be able to say, this is what's happening in my district because of your calls. I'll tell you what, Congressman Collins' phone lines are jammed, but they're not with you. And he's hearing a different take on this, not from you. Okay, we're approaching 9:27. We should be getting our call any minute, and we're going to be, don't take off when we do, and you want to stay with us. We're going to talk to Brittany Ivey, who met the President of the United States yesterday. I'm actually, I'm more excited about this interview than any I've ever done. So we're going to go to break. We're going to take a break. Stay with us on the other side, just about 30 seconds, and we'll have our guest with us. Okay, we're back, and I have now on the line with me, I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. I have on the line with me Miss Brittany Ivey. You can see the picture there of her meeting with President Donald Trump yesterday. Miss Ivey, are you with us?
I'm here.
Well, first of all, I'm excited to have you. I'm a little jealous. I have to tell the truth. I'm just going to be straight. I'm a little jealous because I would really enjoy getting an opportunity to meet with the president. But you were sitting right next to President Donald Trump yesterday. Tell our viewers a little bit what that was like being in that room.
I got to sit right beside Thatcher, and I was just as excited as you can imagine you would have been in that room. It was a really humbling experience, and I was really nervous at first, but when he came in there, he talked to all of us just like you know, he was no better than us, he was no different than us. And he
Well,
really
stop. I don't mean to interrupt you because this is
Uh-huh.
stuff the American people do not hear. So you're saying when he walked in, this is a billionaire. I don't mean to be rude, but this is a billionaire, and I watch every day the media frame our president every day. So this billionaire came in and sat down, and he let you know he was no better than you, he was no different than you. Is that what I heard you say?
That is exactly what you heard me say, and I'm right there with you. Every day I hear what the media says about him, but what they're portraying him as is not at all the picture that I saw yesterday.
Oh, I didn't mean to be rude, but I had to hear that. I had to hear that again because somehow this president of the United States is staying connected to people much like you and I out here in what I call rural America. Okay, so you go up there. This was a healthcare listening session. The president wanted to listen. And he has had listening sessions, Brittany. He's had listening sessions with CEOs, manufacturers, inner city, different things. This was a healthcare listening session. Did you feel the President of the United States listened to you and any other participants in the room?
I absolutely did. And even after the media left, you know, and he was talking to us kind of individually and repeating back the things that each of us had said in our story. So it wasn't like, I didn't feel like, well, we were just there as media props. He really was still talking to us and addressing us long after the media left the room.
Okay, I'm just recapping because this is stuff the media doesn't say. So when the media is in the room and they're getting their pictures and the photo ops and all those things, when they leave the room, this guy doesn't change. Is that what I'm...
If anything, he becomes more charismatic. He becomes more like the people he's in the room with, was the feeling that I left with.
Okay, let's go to, there was a lady, when we're watching at home, there was a lady to the left of him that was talking about farming and ranching, I think it is, but anyhow. And then I listened to your story. Who else was in that room around the table? How many people was invited to this?
There were, I believe there were 10 of us total, but you had 2 doctors. You had an internal medicine doctor, and you had a trauma surgeon from Vanderbilt over in Tennessee. They were there, and they each gave unique perspectives on what healthcare was doing. From their end, you had another, you mentioned the northern Colorado cattle rancher, but you also had a row crop farmer from Tennessee that talked about the impact that it had on his family. There was another stay-at-home mom like myself that was staying at home and working part-time when the Affordable Care Act was enacted, and it pushed her back into the workforce. She was a nurse from Wisconsin. You had a manufacturer owner. I think he employed roughly 20 people, he said, and at one time he was able to provide health insurance completely for all his employees, but that's no longer an option for his company as the costs have just increasingly grown where he was. You had a business, an entrepreneur from Arizona. Her and her husband both own their own small businesses, and in Arizona, the affordable health care has pushed premiums up by 116% on average. So there was just a unique group of people. We all had different stories, but they all basically were the same. We all made different amounts of money, but we were all paying a large percentage of our income just to have health care.
Well, let me say this. So what I'm gathering for you, and I want to thank you so much for being with us, because we get media accounts of what's going on in these rooms, but you're giving me the best account that I have heard from anybody, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. So this room was balanced. It was balanced with doctors. It was balanced with people from across the United States, just not a certain area. It was balanced with business owners that did provide their employees health care that cannot afford it now, farmers, individuals like you and your husband, where I think, just, I don't want to get it wrong, he comes home one day and he says the healthcare costs have gone so high, my employer says they cannot care for the family, so you go out to work to try to go outside the home to work to try to supplement insurance. All of those stories the president sat and listened to yesterday.
That's right. He did. And I could tell too, you know, even when we were talking afterwards, he didn't just listen yesterday. He had been told our stories before, and he cared enough to remember things that we didn't even get to say in our little blurbs there for the media.
So he was briefed, and I know this might sound silly, but I'm amazed with the way this president conducts himself. There's Democrats that say, and I'm not going to go down that road, but there's Democrats. I just got a message from a viewer that said that they have a congressman Democrat in their district that says they have met more with Donald Trump in 2 months than they met with the former president in 8 years. So that being said, but he was briefed on everybody in the room before he came in, obviously the background of your stories, and when he came in, you could tell that he reviewed everybody's story and was aware of what was going on when he came in the room.
Exactly. Yes, sir.
The reason I'm highlighting that, Brittany, is because the media paints this president as somebody that doesn't pay attention or doesn't study or doesn't keep up with things. So I'm just highlighting that because of you're telling, I think you're telling the correct story, but you're telling a whole different story than we hear when we turn on our TVs about this president of the United States. So I hope you understand where I'm going with that.
Oh, I do, because I feel the same way. I mean, I was not expecting the man that I met with yesterday just based on the things I'd seen myself in the media.
Whoa, she was not, viewers, she was not expecting the man she met yesterday based on the things she had been led to, tried to lead her to believe from the media. Brittany, could you share, could you share your story on healthcare with our viewers? Because I listened to your video, and we did do the video at the top of the hour, but maybe for some people that just tuned in, could you share what you told the president? We got a picture of you sitting there, and I seen him look over and ask you for your story. Can you share what you told President Donald Trump yesterday?
Yes, I'd be happy to do that. And I also want to say, Thatcher, before I don't get to now, I also have a congressman, Representative Collins, represents my district, and the whole reason that my story is out there is because I made a comment to one of his aides about how detrimental the Affordable Health Care Act had been to my family, and he cared enough to listen to that story and to follow up with me and to see exactly what had happened. So I want to give him credit for that because he is the reason this story is out there. But basically what had happened to my family was in 2009, I had left work at the University of Georgia to stay home with my 2 children who were both under the age of 2. And the only stipulation my husband put on that was that I paid for our health insurance. We might have qualified for government health insurance, but we never wanted our neighbors to work harder so that we could work less. So I always worked part-time and just paid for our insurance, which was provided through his company, but, I had to pay our portion of it.
I understand.
And then as the premiums rose, they rose 102% from 2009 to 2014. We were paying right at $1,400 for our family plan when the company came back and said from 2014 to 15, they're going to see another 34% increase that was going to take it to $1,900 a month. And the company said, we just can't keep your family on anymore. So I knew I had to come back to work, but I couldn't find a full-time job with benefits. So we entered into the exchange. We believed the sales pitch that said, oh, if you like your doctors, you can keep your doctors. So we got a plan through the Obamacare exchange that cost us roughly $1,300 a month. We had it for 5 months, so we paid $8,800 in 5 months for insurance that, after come to find out, our doctors wouldn't accept. So we never used the insurance that we paid so much for. So that's our experience in a nutshell.
Well, that's what I heard you say this morning. And I want to also say I've encouraged all of our listeners. I mean, they are elected officials. They do represent the district. And actually, the day after, the same night they introduced the new plan, the next morning, Congressman Collins was on our show and was explaining it to the 9th District and all of our viewers what was in the plan. So I want to say also, and I agree with you, call your congressman. I say that, call your congressman, tell your story, okay? Because they are getting inundated, the congressmen in the United States are getting inundated with stories from the opposite side. I'll just say it like that. Call and tell your story. If you have a story much like Brittany has here in her family, because what I'm hearing is your husband had a health care plan through his employer, but the family plan, which we know all too, we know how it works. So it covered him, but if he adds the family, it was so much. And he said to you, let's say if we have this right, he said to you, hey, you know what? If you would go outside the home and just bring in enough to cover the family plan on my health care package, correct?
That's correct.
And then the provider said, we just can't do it anymore. And that's when you went down and to Obamacare, healthcare.gov. Brittany, let me ask you one more thing. How long did that meeting last? How long were you guys in there?
And everybody's asked that, and I really didn't pay attention. I know that we were in there for at least an hour. The staff had told us that we wouldn't be able to go into the Oval Office, but when we finished, President Trump basically said, these people have given up their time to meet with me. We're going to take them into the Oval Office and do a picture. So that stretched at our time there.
So you got to go in the Oval Office?
Yes, I did. And
all right, well, send me a picture. Send me a picture.
I'll do that.
We want a picture, because I watched the day, the media missed the day that he did the sign the executive order on with the coal miners, and he took the coal miners in the Oval Office. So you got to go in the Oval Office after an hour of the president's time. Who else was there? I think I seen in the big overall picture was Vice President Pence in the room? He was in the room, and Secretary of Health and Human Services Tom Price was in the room, and then we had the and I don't know his official title, but I think the secretary had something to do with economic development, was at the other end of the table. Yes, okay. Across from Secretary Price. So he brought, and I know who you're talking about, I think his name's, is it Mulvaney? But anyhow, I don't want to say for sure, but I understand. I think he's who you're talking about. So he's in the room, the guy that does the budget analysis on the health care package. The Vice President of the United States is in the room. Health and Human Services in the room, and the President of the United States, and they bring you guys in here, and they sit for an hour, and they listen to what I call America say, this is what's happened to me, and this is what we need fixed. Am I correct? That's correct. And even Secretary Price even gave me an opportunity to tell, in Stevens County, we have a rural hospital that's hanging on in northeast Georgia. There are not many of those left. Habersham sold out, Franklin County, Rabun County, all around us have sold out, but our hospital, thanks to the county commissioners, is hanging on here in Stevens County. And I talked to Secretary Price about that and how important that was for the economy of Stevens County to hang on to that hospital. And he took time to talk through some of that with me as well, and kind of, give me some information I could come back and tell some of our local leaders here about, even if they make some changes, it's still going to be a while, but I think he's hoping that we can hang on as well as we are too. So, well, Brittany, that was nice to get to share that too. Well, Brittany, I will tell you this. I don't want to, I'm not interested in asking you on policy or anything like that. I'm not going that direction. But what I would like to say is, and kindly, it's being a little redundant, but right now we have news coming out of Congress. We have news coming out of the Senate. We have different things being explained to us on health care. But you walk away sitting that close to the President of the United States feeling that our president really wants to put this all together and do what's best, affordable, and works for everybody. Is that the takeaway for you? It is a takeaway for me. And he even said, and I think everybody knows that Obamacare is going under on its own. It's not substantial. It's not going to make it on its own. He even said the easy thing for them to do would be just to let that happen if they didn't care about the American people. But they want to change it before it comes to that, and we're in a bigger mess than we're already in. So, well, you know what? I respect them for that. You know what? Maybe if you could set that close and tell from the 9th district, you're from Toccoa, right? Toccoa, Georgia, and that's Stevens County, right? And you're in the 9th district. Right. So if you're that close to the President of the United States and you're getting to tell him your story on, healthcare with you and your family, and you agree that person you met is not the person the media portrayed. Maybe that congressional officer, maybe you, now that you're friends with the President of the United States, maybe you can get me an interview. So I want to work on that, okay? I want to work on that. There's no reason the President couldn't give me just a minute to interview him. Brittany, I thank you so much. Are you home or headed home, or are you still in D.C.?
I got home last night about 10:30, and I'm actually at work today at the Stevens County Development Authority office in downtown Toccoa.
All right, well, we don't want to get you in trouble there at work. Well, okay, is everybody sending you messages? Are people stopping by and calling? So you're the big star of Stevens County now. Yes, you are. You know you are.
I don't feel like that.
Well, what's your friends saying? Are you getting all kinds of messages? Your family and friends all excited?
Yes, they like you don't understand why, now that I've been with the president, why I can't get them in to meet him too.
There you go. It's not just me. Brittany, thank you so much, and let's stay in touch. And now that I know where you're at over there, I'll send you a couple messages, and I would like to follow this up later at different times. Thank you again. You have a nice day. For telling our viewers, because we do have several viewers across the nation, that President of the United States is listening to the American people. You have a nice day, Brittany.
Thank you, Thatcher. You too. Bye-bye.
Hey, I'm at a loss of words on that. That was Brittany Ivey. I'm at a loss of words on that because there's so many powerful things that Brittany Ivey just said, okay? There's so many powerful things that she just said, but what the media led her to believe on who she was meeting was completely wrong. Right there. I'm your host, BKP. We're going to take a brief break. I'm going to come back and wrap up the show. Never know what we're going to do here. Anything goes. Let's take a break.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we make everything better. It all starts with a huge new Chevy selection. Then we heap on the discounts to make sure your Chevy price is the lowest you'll find anywhere. And if you like great customer service, you'll love it at Days. Bigger selection, lower prices, easy financing, and great customer service. Your better day is just ahead at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys cost less.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ellijay.
Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
It's a new year. New you at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper. Ring in the new year with huge deals on a brand new Ford. Right now, get exceptional offers like 0% financing plus a $1,500 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford F-150 XLT. Or get 0% financing plus a $1,000 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford Explorer. Make your resolution a reality during the New Year, New You sales event at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper, home of the Schottenkirk Customer Guarantee. Visit us online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
Don't miss the 35th Annual Atlanta International Auto Show, where you can shop and compare from hundreds of new cars, trucks, and SUVs from over 27 major manufacturers in one location. You'll also see debuting models for 2018, the latest in alternative fuel vehicles, and great special attractions. It's only once a year and 5 big days. March 22nd through the 26th, Georgia World Congress Center on Northside Drive.
This show today, I just really enjoyed that. This message, I want to give this to you. I'm almost positive. Well, I know it's Missouri. And I think it's Springfield, Missouri. A message came in. A Democrat congressman mentioned he has spent more time with Trump in the first 2 months of office than he did another Democrat president in 8 years. Your guest is one lucky lady, and then this viewer from Missouri went on to write, never before in your life have you ever felt it possible to have an interview with the president. So I do now. I'm going to get one. Let's go on the record, right here, on the record. I'm going to get one. I'm going to get an interview with President Donald Trump. It's going to happen. I didn't tell you what day. I didn't tell you what time. But it's going to happen. Folks, I've enjoyed this show for a number of reasons, and one is I like to bring things that I know you're not tuning in mainstream media and watching on a daily basis. And like I said before we left, the takeaway for me is this is not the person that if the media, that is a winner today, that is a home run by this nice lady, Brittany Ivey, that spent an hour with the President of the United States and got her picture taken in the Oval Office yesterday from Stevens County, Toccoa, Georgia, and got an opportunity to say how we in America, she represented us yesterday, not just in the 9th District, many millions of Americans across this country feel about the disaster known as Obamacare. But the takeaway is the person she met, if left up to the media to define this person, was nowhere near the person the media is trying to tell you. On a daily basis, the media is trying to tell you who the President of the United States is, how Donald Trump acts, and how he's not aware or keeping up with what's happening. He brought the 4 key players into that meeting and listened to the stories, and they were well briefed before they got in there. So I'm just saying that the number one thing I hear, Jim Brown, remember Jim Brown came down the escalator at Trump Tower and Ray Lewis, remember that? And urban development for inner cities. And they say, hey, the guy listens. Manufacturing, the guy listens. CEOs, the guys listen. Retail sales, the guy listens. The CEO of Ford, the guy listens. Trump is listening, and he is going to make changes. And I support the President of the United States, and healthcare collapses. We know it. You know it. The American people know it. The media has just missed it. And obviously they want us to believe the CBO. Let me say this before you hear about the Congressional Budget Office one more time. Don't forget, we had a website, okay? Healthcare.gov. That was supposed to cost the American people $834 million, okay? It ended up costing $2.1 billion. Whether you like the new health care plan that the Republicans are trying to put in place or not, I have some problems with it myself. But whether you like it or not, CBO also scores the budget deficit will be reduced. That's not getting reported. Folks, I think Mitch McConnell should change the rule. You keep hearing 3 prongs. You keep hearing the reconciliation, the first prong that they have. Then you keep hearing HHS, which is true. Tom Price. When they passed Obamacare, folks, Kathleen Sebelius, then Secretary of the Health and Human Services, okay, was given an enormous amount of power. So if you could read, and I had this discussion with somebody yesterday, if you could read the 1,200 or 1,400 pages of Obamacare, or 10,000, however many they were, this high, every third paragraph defers to HHS, if you had time to read it. HHS was given an enormous amount of power. So Tom Price does have latitude, the new HHS secretary, to really go in there and dismantle a lot of things just through his department alone. And then we're hearing about the third prong, okay, legislative. My opinion is Mitch McConnell, do what's right for the American people, shove the whole thing together, change the rule, vote 51, pass everything, don't leave it hanging out there and lingering, pass it all, go back this afternoon, change the rule back to 60 votes. Let the Democrats scream. Let the media scream. Let everybody scream. Maybe they'll get ice cream, all right? But the point is, come July, when we're at a 3.8 or a 3.5 GDP, nobody will care what you did, Mitch. Everybody will be okay. It will not be this sore subject on the next election cycle. You need to get it off. You don't need to go into the 2018 election. Republicans better not go into 2018 legislative cycle talking about legislation that needs to be implemented for health care. You've almost reached, Republicans, the end of your rope with the American people believing that you're going to do all the things you promised in health care. Okay? I'm your host, BKP. It's going to be time now for the Katy Sissine Show, the #1 show in North Georgia here. Katy Sissine, the indoctrination of the American nation. Katy Sissine from 10 to 10:30, and then it will be time to short takes with George McClellan at 10:30. I'm your host, BKP. It is Tuesday. Let me double check. I did take out the trash. I'm 2 weeks in a row. I didn't forget to take out the trash. Could be a good day. We're gonna miss the storm. What else I have to report? I don't know. But I'm leaving. I'll be back 8 a.m. It's time for the Katy Sissine Show, and then George at 10:30. Thank you for being here. That's all I have to say. Are you ever going to go off the show or not? I mean, I've said goodbye to the people 6 times. Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia: Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, Stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we make everything better. And no matter what vehicle you drive, our new state-of-the-art service center can keep you running like new with factory-trained technicians, genuine parts, and value pricing. Even convenient Saturday service hours and online appointments. So if you want to extend the life of your vehicle, let the Days service experts help. Your better day is just ahead at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where we service whatever you drive.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Hello, welcome to the Katy Sissine Show. I'm your host, Katy Sissine, as always, addressing the indoctrination of the nation. Now, if you tuned with us yesterday, you heard us talk about Trump and the good predictions for the market. Do those, is that a one-to-one correlation with Trump? Well, that's the question. I determined it's not a one-to-one correlation, but he has influenced the stock market immensely. He has given people much faith in the stock market. We did come to that conclusion. And why? Tune into our episode from yesterday and you get more information on that. The ADP job predictions were 190K, and the actual ADP jobs report is at 298K. Thanks to Mr. Trump bringing jobs back into the U.S. as he promised. He is MAGA, just like he's promised. So I'm happy for Trump. I'm happy for the people that will benefit from Trump and the economy that is in the works right now, the better economy for making America great again. So I hope that more Americans can have faith in the president as commander-in-chief, because thus far he is doing what he has promised, and we should respect that and acknowledge that. Now, today's episode, more importantly, what are we talking about today? Well, today we're talking about someone new. We're talking about Geert Wilders, and that's spelt Wilders, like Wilders. Geert Wilders, 53. He wants to run for Prime Minister of Netherlands, says he just might be the next Prime Minister of Netherlands. Now, before we go into who is Geert Wilders, let's show a video of people in looks like Heesh, Netherlands. Residents defy demo ban to protest planned refugee center.
Ik was in met Ivey. Ik loop zo ver. Nu. Lekker.
So, welcome back to the show. Now, people in Netherlands are protesting asylum for refugees, for Muslim refugees. And why are they doing this? Because of what's happened in other European countries. Let's take France, for example. The multitudes of attacks that have been reported on France. Since they've opened their arms so generously, since Francois Hollande, President of France, has had so generously opened his arms to refugees, and what's happened to their country since, and the plotted attacks that have taken place since. And what happens is they go to suburban areas near the cities, and they shack up with someone who is in the ISIS club, whatever you want to call it, is in the terrorist club, and they shack up with them, and they are French citizens, so they're not being monitored. So they shack up with their French citizens who are on their side, who are terrorists, and they allow them to stay there while they plot their attacks that they're going to do in the city. And that happened too many times in France. We remember in Nice, people were ran over by a tractor-trailer truck. It just ran through the streets and ran people over. And I was at that, but a year before that happened, I was there on vacation. And to think, I could have been one of those people walking down the street, going to the beach, just to hang out with friends and explore the world as I was going backpacking through Europe. And my parents find out I get run over by a truck because because the religion Islam wants to take over the world. Now, if you tell my parents, well, if somebody asks my parents, why did your daughter die? And their only answer is Islam wants to take over the world. Then I think that's saying something. I think that's saying that something needs to be done about the radicals of this religion. Something needs to be done here. And if that means that they need to be excluded from countries, then that just has to be what it is, because telling someone's family that your son or daughter died because Islam wants to take over the world isn't an apology. And it's not going to fix anything. And let me tell you, it doesn't justify anything. If anything, that's a pseudo-religion. What kind of religion wants you to kill people in the name of your God? It's a pseudo-religion. And it's not even a religion. You know what it is? It's an ideology that's portraying itself as a religion so as to make it look okay, so as to make it look appropriate. Now, who is Wilders that's running for Prime Minister of the Netherlands? Because that's what we're all here to talk about today. Currently, he is the Netherlands leader of the Party of Freedom in the Dutch House of Representatives, of course, in Netherlands. And now he's up against liberal incumbent Mark Rutte and he is on the Populist Party ticket, it looks like. So it looks like Wilders is on the Populist Party ticket. Now, Netherlands, we know for societally, socially progressive ways. We know them to be very liberal. We know them to be accepting and be very, very religiously tolerant. And the New Yorker is calling this guy that wants to run for prime minister, Mr. Wilders, the Dutch Trump. And he has even dyed his hair blonde. So we're gonna, possibly, we're gonna see a photo of Wilders later. So just be patient, because we will see a photo. I do have a couple photos lined up where we will see Wilders. So he has been a politician for over 20 years. And he is not right-wing or left-wing, and he uses Twitter a lot, similar to Trump. Now, people have said that Trump's not really right-wing or left-wing, but he chose to run on the Republican ticket because that was the only way that he could get up to the to the Republican to Democrat race, because it wasn't likely that he would beat Hillary. So he had to run on the Republican ticket. Now, here we are with Geert Wilders, and it's the same situation. He's really not, right or left. He's simply choosing a party to run on that ticket. That's what it seems like for me. Now, I'm not too familiar with the Dutch system, so if anyone has some corrections, please email them to me at katy@fetchyournews.com. Now, Geert Wilders, before he, started running or decided he wanted to be prime minister one day that we know of, he came out with this video, and it explains the Quran and interprets the Quran. And we're going to cut it off at some point when I feel that we've seen enough, because we've got a couple minutes left in this part of the segment. So let's get it started.
وأعدوا لهم ما استطعتم من قوة ومن رباط الخيل ترهبون به عدو الله وعدوكم وآخرين من دونهم
Second, please. I'm gonna die, aren't I? No. Say I'm gonna die. Ma'am, say your prayers. We're gonna think positive because you gotta help each other get off the floor. Now, stay calm. You're doing a good job, ma'am. You're doing good.
Welcome back to the Katy Sissine Show. Now we've got to cut for a quick commercial break, and we'll get right back into that video. So as you can see, we saw one Quran translation that translated as strike terror into the hearts of the enemy. Now, as far as I know, growing up in the U.S. and being raised as a Christian, going to Catholic church and going to Christian church, going to non-denominational churches, striking terror into the hearts of the enemy was never a message that I got in church. So that's, according to this movie, it's a Quran translation, and that's very sad. So stay tuned in for the Katy Sissine Show. We're going to get back into the movie Fitna by Geert Wilders, who seeks to run for Prime Minister of the Netherlands. We'll be right back with you. Thank you.
It's a new year. New you at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper. Ring in the new year with huge deals on a brand new Ford. Right now, get exceptional offers like 0% financing plus a $1,500 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford F-150 XLT. Or get 0% financing plus a $1,000 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford Explorer. Make your resolution a reality during the New Year, New You sales event at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper, home of the Schottenkirk Customer Guarantee. Visit us online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Better days ahead.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we make everything better. It all starts with a huge new Chevy selection. Then we heap on the discounts to make sure your Chevy price is the lowest you'll find anywhere. And if you like great customer service, you'll love it at Days. Bigger selection, lower prices, easy financing, and great customer service. Your better day is just ahead at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys cost less.
Better days ahead. Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
You're doing a good job, ma'am. You're doing a good job. It's so hot. I'm burning up.
Monse, oye, estoy en algo chavido en el tren y hemos tenido...
والمشركين أعداءك أعداء الدين اللهم احصهم عددا وقتلهم بددا ولا تغادر منهم أحدا. الذين كفروا بآياتنا سوف نصليهم نارا كلما نضجت جلودهم بدلناهم جلودا غيرها ليذوقوا العذاب إن الله كان عزيزا حكيما.
لو أذن الله لنا يا أمة محمد سيقول حتى الحجر يا مسلم هذا يهودي خلفي تعال وقامته ونحن نقطعها والله لنقطعها أيها اليهود. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر. الجهاد في سبيل الله الجهاد في سبيل الله الجهاد في سبيل الله.
اسمك ايه؟ بسمة. عندك كام سنة؟ 3 سنين. انت مسلمة؟ بسمة، انت تعرفي اليهود؟ بتحبيهم؟ لا ما بتحبيهمش ليه؟ كده. عشان هم ايه؟ هم قردة وخنازير. عشان هم قردة وخنازير؟ مين قال عليهم كده؟ ربنا. قال عليهم فين؟ القرآن.
Hello, so if you're just tuning in, we just stopped the video, Fitna. It's the movie by Geert Wilders, who seeks to run for Prime Minister of the Netherlands. He created this video. He has been labeled, well, first of all, he has been labeled as anti-Muslim and many other names, same names that Trump has been labeled actually, and there's been a lot of comparisons between Trump and Wilder. And so this is the movie that Wilder made with Quran translations showing many images of destruction and lives lost in the name of the Quran. There's even a translation, the first translation he shows in his film, that says, "Strike terror into the hearts of the enemy," which doesn't sound religious to me, because when I think of religion, I associate religion with good. God is good. But this is not good. See, this is what I associate with evil. And it's very strange to me that people could turn a blind eye to all the destruction and the lives lost in the name of their God, Allah. So they've even preached death to disbelievers. I mean, it's outright evil. Muslims are preaching hate and chanting something like, victory for Allah. It's all in the name of their God, Allah. It's like Allah's their excuse for everything. It's like they can do anything and say they're doing it for the right reasons because it's for the good of their religion. It's for the good of their God, Allah. So really, it's a cover. It's I can't say for sure it's a cover. I haven't come full circle with this, but it seems like they've been using their religion, Islam, as a cover for an evil ideology that they want to use to recruit people to take money from other people illegally with, and take women, which is what they do, which is what the people of ISIS do. They recruit young people, they brainwash them, they take over villages, they, rape women, boys, they recruit people and they give them money and women and whatever they want, so long as they kill for them. And they do anything that they tell them to do, that their commander tells them to do, in the name of their terrorist organization, in the name of the supposed religious-based group. I don't buy it. I just don't. So, anyway, getting back to where we were, the saddest part about that video was when we saw Basmala, the 3-year-old Muslim girl who says Jewish people are apes and pigs. It's clear that the brainwashing is in effect when we talk to, or we see a 3.5-year-old little girl talk and say that she knows for a fact that she thinks, Muslim and Jewish people are apes and pigs just because they're Jewish, because she hears that from her parents, because she hears that from her church or wherever she hears it from. Now, here's a photo of Muslim protests. Here's a photo of Muslim protests in the Netherlands. We see on the far right Sharia for the Netherlands. In the middle, Islam will dominate the world. Freedom can go to HELL hockey sticks. We see Sharia, the true solution. Freedom to hell. It's just, it's just terrible how people have misconstrued, what Americans really want for the world and what America really wants for the world, because they are against America, people, and remember that. Remember 9/11. Now, what timing are we on? I can't see the timing. Okay, so we're going to close up this segment for today, and we're going to continue with a video about Geert Wilders stating how the Netherlands or Islam it might be dressed up as a religion, but it's actually an ideology. And, the Netherlands are having a vote this week. Dutch politicians have intensified their campaigns. And if they vote for Wilders, then they're going to get the Muslims out. So he's been touted as anti-Muslim. So as you can see from his film anyway, I'll see you back next episode tomorrow. Stay tuned in. Thank you.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we make everything better. It all starts with a huge new Chevy selection. Then we heap on the discounts to make sure your Chevy price is the lowest you'll find anywhere. And if you like great customer service, you'll love it at Days. Bigger selection, lower prices, easy financing, and great customer service. Your better day is just ahead at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys cost less.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ellijay.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
It's a new year. New you at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper. Ring in the new year with huge deals on a brand new Ford. Right now, get exceptional offers like 0% financing plus a $1,500 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford F-150 XLT. Or get 0% financing plus a $1,000 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford Explorer. Make your resolution a reality during the New Year, New You sales event at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper, home of the Schottenkirk Customer Guarantee. Visit us online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
Don't miss the 35th Annual Atlanta International Auto Show, where you can shop and compare from hundreds of new cars, trucks, and SUVs from over 27 major manufacturers in one location. You'll also see debuting models for 2018, the latest in alternative fuel vehicles, and great special attractions. It's only once a year and 5 big days, March 22nd through the 26th, Georgia World Congress Center on Northside Drive.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia: Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge, we have your new house in stock.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Well, good morning, sun worshipers. This is George McClellan coming to you from FetcherNews.com, North Georgia's only live online internet talk show. And fun lovers, sun worshipers, I guarantee you, it might feel like spring with all the daffodils up, but it's winter outside that door right now. And I mean, it's cold. And last night we had a big storm come through, so it's wet. And there's a wind alert for this afternoon, so we're going to be really chilly, but what the heck? Ain't nothing we can do about it. We might as well enjoy it. So go out there and have fun, start your gardening, pick up the tree limbs that have fallen out of the trees and get your yard spliced up a little bit so it looks decent and ready for spring. Already at our house, my wife has prepared the soil and getting things ready for her flowers and our flowers and garden and that sort of thing. So let's get to what's important in the news. What's important for you? You know, Trump issued a executive order on immigration, which was immediately dumped on by the Ninth Court of Appeals. The result being it was said it was unconstitutional. It wasn't, but the liberals on that court said so, and so the Trump team recreated that executive order, and now we have the state of Hawaii. The state of Hawaii is the first state to file suit. Now, the state of Washington has promised to file suit, but the state of Hawaii beat them to it against Trump's new immigration order. Hawaii has taken a new tact. It relies not only on claims of economic damage to the state, but also on claims of damage to Hawaiians, Muslims, feelings and perceptions of the world. How about that? Now let's interpret that for a little bit before we go into it any deeper. If Muslims in Hawaii do what Muslims in Paris and Berlin and Belgium and here in the United States, Orlando, San Bernardino, Chattanooga, if Muslims in that Hawaii start doing what these other people have done, what's that going to do to their economic success? Tourists are going to stop going there. Simple as that. So who cares what Muslims, whether their feelings are hurt anyway? They're not Americans. They're not. Were not raised, did not grow up under the Constitution. They have absolutely no idea. They're here as part of a jihadist army to spread Sharia law and create a caliphate, and they'll even take it to the Hawaiian Islands. It's coming. So this battle, we've got to defend no Muslims. You have to defend no Islam. There is a law that said that back in '52. It's never been repealed as far as I understand. But Hawaii has got themselves in a bind over this thing now, and they're threatening a lawsuit against Donald Trump's executive order. Well, let's see where it goes, because it's important that we understand what
the two sides of this feeling are. The progressives are in a self-destruct mode. They want to bring the very people to this country and enfranchise them as Americans who will slit their throats or precipitate many of them off the tops of buildings. Simple as that. That's what it is. The article was written by Byron York, I'm sorry. There's a race going on for states to file or join new lawsuits against President Trump's second executive order, temporarily halting entry to the U.S. for some people from a few terror-flagged countries. Well, that's the 7 countries. I think it just ought to extend to Muslims anywhere at all times, and just leave it at that. The first state to file a new suit was Hawaii, and they did it on February the 3rd against Trump's original order. The new Hawaii suit, which comes before a federal judge on the 15th, and that's today, I believe, relies not only on claims of economic damage to the state. Now, what are those claims? What economic damage could keeping Muslims out of a state or somebody's town possibly be? And I'm going to bring this one forward because there is a town that has taken action. The new Hawaii suit relies not only claims of economic damage, but also claims of damage to Hawaiian Muslims' feelings and perceptions of the world. Nowhere in the Constitution does it say you have a right not to be insulted or you have a right not to be have your feelings hurt. Progressives have ruined the rule of law in America, and for the rest of us, for all of us, that we relied upon to feel safe on our streets and say our piece without fear of getting our throats slit. And now progressives want to change all that. They're going to change all of that, and we simply have to fight back. There is the new mission for the Tea Party, is to resist this unconstitutional and this group of people being imported into this country around the world because they're overpopulating the sands they live in. Interestingly, in Vermont, the state of Vermont, last May, a fellow named Louras, L-O-U-R-A-S, mayor of a little town in Vermont, had a secret plan which came to light, was exposed in the Boston Globe, which said Louras made no apologies for excluding the public from the planning. What planning? Importing Syrians and Iraqis into his town. Now, his motive was kids are leaving the town, they're not staying, so the population's down a little bit, so we got to refresh our population. Representative King said it right yesterday. We cannot restore America by importing babies from other places. He's absolutely right, but the left is going batshit over this. They're going absolutely crazy because it contradicts their plan for world domination. They think they're going to be world domination, and Islam has another plan for them. So help them come in, and then they will be first at the wall. If the proposal had been floated earlier, the mayor said, the debate would have come out about them, meaning the Syrians and the Iraqis, their culture, and possibly their links to terrorism. Make no mistake, instead of whether the city had the means to accommodate the refugees. Yes, and they couldn't possibly have had a public discussion about whether the immigrants had possible links to terrorism. That would have been, guess, Islamophobic. So there's another one of those words that we have allowed the left to make an important part of our everyday nomenclature. Let me tell you what Islamophobic absolutely is defined as. Islamophobic simply means self-defense. You got enough common damn sense to know that those people want to kill you or convert you. And if they convert you, if you allow yourself to be converted, then the next thing to do is ask you to slap a bomb on your back and walk into a police station somewhere. That's the philosophy of these people. That's what we're facing. And this mayor wanted to import those people into his town without telling anybody on the city council or any citizens in the town. Well, even in Vermont, the arrogant and authoritarian mayor has received his comeuppance. He was just voted out of office. So that plan is dead. In referendum on refugees, Rutland mayor loses re-election bid, Rutland being Rutland, Vermont. And I'm quoting from a newspaper article. Rutland Mayor Chris Loris, who endured months of withering criticism for his plan to bring Syrian refugees to the city, lost his re-election bid on Tuesday. In unofficial voting results, David Allaire, a city alderman and leading critic of the resettlement, trounced Loris, a 10-year mayoral incumbent, by a 776 vote margin, according to results cited in the New York TV station WCAX-TV, who was watching that vote. That was an important vote. Have you heard of it anywhere on any of the news networks? No. The mediocre media refuses to report this. It shows up on little stations that just cover local news, like FetchingNews.com, as a matter of fact, TV, FFYN TV. In unofficial voting results, David Allaire is now the new mayor. Well, 760 vote margin proves that. I'm simply wishing him luck and I'm moving on, Loris told 7 Days Tuesday night. 7 Days is apparently a program. He declined further comment, saying he would not hazard a guess as to what the election results say about Rutland's support for refugees. Well, I can tell you what it says. You're not welcome. We don't need you. Absolutely, we don't need you. We don't need you anywhere. It's absolutely unnecessary. Loris had beaten Allaire in 2 previous mayoral elections. A Rutland native, Loris reached out to refugee resettlement officials in 2015 and hatched a proposal to bring 100 refugees from Syria and Iraq to the city, which has been losing a population for decades. I mean, the kids are not staying around. The mayor pitched the plan without consulting the Board of Aldermen as a humanitarian imperative and economic development initiative. There's those words that touch our hearts. It's an economic imperative. If they had jobs in that town, their kids wouldn't leave. Don't you reckon? He faced a fierce backlash from many residents and aldermen, some of whom engaged in nativist rhetoric. When they take the word native and make it nativist, that means that the left is trying to denigrate you and paint you as a wicked, evil person. Nativist. Oh, that's horrible. We can't be. Yes, we can. We got to be nativist, or we're going to lose our America forever. Reporters from across the state and country descended on the city after months of conflict. Well, I never heard about it until I read this article. State Department announced. After months of conflict, Loris in September appeared to have scored a legacy-defining victory when the State Department announced that Rutland had been approved as a resettlement site and would begin accepting refugees. President Donald Trump, executive order cracking down on immigration, scuttled the plan. Only 2 Syrian families have made it to Rutland. Now, those Syrian families could be 20 or 30 people each. If you remember how I discussed it last week, you bring your mom, your wife brings her mom and dad, and they bring their cousins, their moms and dads and cousins and brothers and sisters and aunts, and then next thing you know, you've got a whole Syrian village made of one family. Allaire always insisted he is not anti-refugee, no, but he must be anti-Muslim to accept this. But he led the charge to investigate whether Loris broke any laws in his handling of the proposal. We've had a difficult time getting any information from the mayor's office or the refugee resettlement folks. It seems to be all cloak and dagger behind the scenes. Yes, it is. And I'll tell you why. The State Department has several church organizations, church-sponsored organizations in the resettlement plan. These people are paid by your taxpayer dollars to find places to resettle refugees. And if they weren't paid, they wouldn't be doing it. It's as simple as that. Always follow the money. Somewhere in everything that's odd and weird, you got to follow the money. You pick up the trail and you can find it. The State Department resettlement plan is run by several church organizations, the Catholic Church being a big one. Now, I don't know that they're involved in this one, but the Catholic Church being a big one. And we got to be aware of that because we live in a remote area up here in the North Georgia mountains. And one day you might hear the Asan 5 times a day start blasting out over loudspeakers and wonder what the hell is that. Well, that's the Syrians. I mean, that's the Muslims moving into your community, establishing a mosque, and start demanding that we observe Sharia law because that's their custom. Well, instead of them becoming our customs. Now, I agree on some points that they have. America, the West, has become decadent. It is decadent. Look at the pornography out here. It's available everywhere, and Americans have lost their Christian root. Their Judeo-Christian background is being ignored, swept away by the left on purpose, and we haven't recognized the fact that we are losing our culture, and our culture is not Islamic. It does not adhere to Allah or Sharia law. It's the Constitution, the rule of law, and that's the way it should be. It should remain there. And so on that point, I will move on. I want to encourage you to do this investigation yourself. There's so much information available out there that you could learn and be ready. I want you to go join the Tea Party of Gilmer County. We have 2 of them here. Take your pick. Both of them are conservative. But get into the Tea Party organization to find out what you can do. Join the tonight at 6 o'clock at our courthouse, which you see behind me. The Republican Party is having their county and precinct conventions. Now, it's a big word, but they're just meetings, and they're picking new leaders, precinct captains. Very, very important job, precinct captains, and they're picking the president or the chairman, 2 vice chairmen, the treasurer, secretary for the Republican Party of Gilmer County. I was chairman for 2 terms, and that was enough. I could see things were changing and not the way I could influence it, so I don't go there anymore. But I am a conservative, and I will get active once I see a conservative party actually forming up. Anyway, it's time for a few words from our sponsor, then we'll get back to some other outrages that you should know about in our country. See you on the other side.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we make everything better. It all starts with a huge new Chevy selection. Then we heap on the discounts to make sure your Chevy price is the lowest you'll find anywhere. And if you like great customer service, you'll love it at Days. Bigger selection, lower prices, easy financing, and great customer service. Your better day is just ahead at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys cost less.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ellijay.
Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
It's a new year. New you at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper. Ring in the new year with huge deals on a brand new Ford. Right now, get exceptional offers like 0% financing plus a $1,500 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford F-150 XLT. Or get 0% financing plus a $1,000 factory rebate on a new 2017 Ford Explorer. Make your resolution a reality during the New Year, New You sales event at Schottenkirk Ford Jasper, home of the Schottenkirk Customer Guarantee. Visit us online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
Don't miss the 35th Annual Atlanta International Auto Show, where you can shop and compare from hundreds of new cars, trucks, and SUVs from over 27 major manufacturers in one location. You'll also see debuting models for 2018, the latest in alternative fuel vehicles, and great special attractions. It's only once a year and 5 big days, March 22nd through the 26th, Georgia World Congress Center on Northside Drive.
Well, welcome back, fun lovers. George McClellan coming to you from FYN TV in Gilmer County, North Georgia, in the 9th Congressional District. I left you hanging on the Hawaiian lawsuit, and I want to bring about 1 or 2 more points that are important, and then we'll shift to another state which is now making itself heard. The original Hawaiian lawsuit was simply the state versus the president and his administration. The new suit adds a new plaintiff, a man named Ismail Ilshik, identified as an American citizen of Egyptian descent. I don't know if that means he is American-born from parents who were living in America, or he's a U.S. citizen because he has a green card, or he has now American passport. But he's lived in Hawaii for more than a decade and is now an imam in the Muslim Association of Hawaii. There's a danger sign for you. The Trump order inflicts a grave injury on El-Sheikh and other Muslims in Hawaii, the suit says, by subjecting them to discrimination and second-class treatment. These are the people who cut people's throats. And that's a little bit more than just second-class treatment, I think, and discrimination. The order denies them their right to associate with family members overseas. What that means is he can't bring his mom and dad, his cousins, aunts, his uncles from Egypt to live in Hawaii with him because of this Trump order. So be it. That's too bad. The lawsuit alleges and forces him and other Muslims to live in a country and in a state where there is a perception that the government has established a disfavored religion. I think, yes, absolutely. Don't look at it as religion. Look at it as Nazism. Absolutely a form of fascism that is inimical to the best interests of Hawaii and the United States Constitution. It don't work. It does not work for democracy. Islam is not democratic. Islam is not a Republican form of government. Islam does not prescribe anything but adherence to Sharia law. We don't need it here. Those people can be sent back as far as I'm concerned. His particular problem is this. His wife is an American citizen of Syrian descent and is also a resident of Hawaii. She and her husband, who has a PhD in Islamic studies, PhD, that means piled higher and deeper, from an Egyptian university, have 5 children, all of whom are American citizens and residents of Hawaii. Mrs. Ishklin's mother and Ismail Ishklin's mother-in-law, a Syrian national living in Syria, according to the suite, wants to come to the United States. There we are. Open the door and let them all in, is what they're saying. We can't afford it. We can't afford it. America can't afford to let the foot soldiers of the coming caliphate into our country. We've got to stop it. We've got to stop it. And we can. The Constitution provides for it. According to the suit, she wants to come to the States. The mother-in-law last visited the family in 2005 when she stayed for 1 month. That's longer than my mother stayed when I lived over there. She has not met 2 of Dr. Ishklin's children, and only Dr. El-Sheikh's oldest child remembers meeting her grandmother. Oh my God, they're tearing at our heartstrings. I would offer more details than are in the suit, but when I called Eshkla El-Sheikh, he declined to comment, referring me instead to Hakim Oasanfi. Those are real Hawaiian names, aren't they? Chair of the Muslim Association of Hawaii, who could discuss some of the issues in the case, but not the particulars of El-Sheikh's family situation. The private lawyers working on the suit, including former Obama administration acting Solicitor General Neil Katyal, referred me to a state of Hawaii attorney who did not respond to an email inquiry. And this is the guy writing the article. The suit says that in September 2015, El-Sheikh's wife and filed an I-130 petition on behalf of her mother in Syria. The United States Citizen and Immigration Services described the I-130 as a form for citizens or lawful permanent resident of the United States to establish the relationship to certain alien relatives who wish to immigrate to the United States. My God. We strangle in minutia and petty little laws that are killing us. The mother-in-law's petition was approved in this February, according to the suit, but so far the suit says the mother-in-law does not currently hold a visa to enter the United States. Well, there we have it. Either you have a visa or you don't. Trump is under no obligation to issue her one just so she can go see her 2 grandchildren who have never met their grandma. Send them 2 kids back to Syria, and the whole family can go back, as far as I'm concerned. 11 of the 12 months during which El-Sheikh's mother-in-law's petition was approved, but she was not granted a visa even during the Obama administration, which boasted of the time-consuming multi-year vetting process it applies to Syrians attempting to come to the U.S. El-Sheikh did not sue the government during that time, but after Trump declared a 90-day moratorium on visas, he did go to court and file a suit against Trump, not Obama. The El-Sheikh family is devastated by Trump's temporary order, which the suit claims will prevent the mother-in-law from obtaining a visa to visit or reunite with her family in Hawaii. So anyway, there we are. The National Visa Center is part of the State Department, according to the department's website. The center processes visa petitions once those petitions have been approved by U.S. Citizen and Immigration Services. Lengthy time of waits are involved for processing to begin, the site warns. The suit says that the children, who were apparently not harmed by Obama administration's action to make it difficult and time-consuming for Syrians to come to the U.S., are deeply affected by Trump's executive order. You know, you can say anything, deeply affected. Those kids probably don't care at all. They're just little ones anyway. One day they might care, but they can go home. It conveys to them a message that their own country would discriminate against individuals who shared their ethnicity, including members of their own family, and hold the same religious beliefs. Oh, you have to take a stand. We have to take a stand. You can fight around these words and these little thought processes, and they're still going to strangle us with it. They're still going to use our law against us and strangle us with it. The suit says Muslims in Hawaii feel that the new executive order targets Muslim citizens because of their religious views and their national origin. Well, that's probably true. And as a result, El Sheikh believes that as a result of the new executive order, he and members of the mosque will not be able to associate as freely with those of other faiths. Associate where? With those of other faiths. At potlucks on the beach, at luau's, serving poi and wine? I don't think so. These people are not there to become Hawaiians or Americans. They're there to gain a foothold in the islands for Islam. El Sheikh feels that as a result of the new executive order, there's now a favored and disfavored religion in Hawaii and the United States. In other words, a religion has been established, so they're using the First Amendment. No, the First Amendment simply says the government will not establish a religion. But Thomas Jefferson, who wrote the Constitution, he had a copy of the Koran. He ordered one so he could understand how the Barbary pirates thought and worked, and went after him using their own Koran. So there's nothing in that Constitution that says you have to accept this as religion anyway, and I don't think so. Now, on another point, this is interesting. This is today in USA Today. Tennessee became the first state in the nation on Monday, Monday, to sue the federal government over refugee resettlement on the grounds of the 10th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. Somebody's using the Constitution the way it should be used. How about that? The lawsuit, filed on behalf of several state lawmakers in the Western District of Tennessee, alleged that the federal government violated the 10th Amendment, which says the federal government possesses only the powers delegated to it by the Constitution, and that all other powers are reserved for the states. Do you know that sentence? That very sentence was the beginning of our U.S. Civil War in 1861. The start of our Civil War is based on states' rights. That very sentence. It's never been taken out of the Constitution. It will never be taken out of the Constitution. It's there for a purpose. And when the federal government defies the purpose, then people rightfully have a right to redress their grievances, and which is why George Washington said people should be armed and have plenty of ammunition to defend themselves from the government. Are we at that point? Well, we've been there once. The charge that the federal government is not complying with the Refugee Act of 1980, based on the 10th Amendment, makes Tennessee's lawsuit the first of its kind. Other states have sued the federal government over a refugee settlement, but on a different legal ground. So we'll see where that's going. If you want to read more about that, it came up on the 1776 Coalition website. Other news /2/Tennessee sues federal government. I like to read that 1776. I think they got some good points. This is spot on, right on, but sometimes they're a day or two late on other news, so I don't really use a lot of the material, but that one jumped out at me because it's important enough to know that yes, it's time to start taking some action. Tennessee's starting to take some action. Here's an interesting point. We've just gone through a brutal campaign where 50 days or more after the president, new elected president of the United States, destroyed politics as we know it in the United States. The president-elect won. He's not elected. The president won the election with less than 40% of the popular vote, but had the majority of the electoral votes. The Republican Party had put forth a candidate to win several crucial states that could swing the Electoral College. The election was a bitter one, with the Democratic Party fractured between two candidates. The incoming president received so many death threats that he chose to arrive in Washington in secrecy. The security for the inauguration was the tightest ever, with troops stationed on buildings throughout the day. This was an unprecedented amount of protection for any president-elect. Many members of Congress chose not to attend the ceremony. Despite all of this, Abraham Lincoln was sworn in as our 16th president on March the 4th, 1861. So there we are. History's repeating itself. Now, Donald Trump did not sneak into the nation's capital on a train from Baltimore wearing a Scotch bonnet like Lincoln did under the protection of the Pinkertons, but he did get there, and so did Trump. I thought that was just an interesting counter note to give to you. It's, are we timing? How much time we got in this section? Oh, I got 7 more minutes. So anyway, I'll share that one with you. So Tennessee became the first state to file a lawsuit based on 10th Amendment. So we got to follow that. Put that down in your notebook and keep an eye, look out for it, Google it if you have to. It's very important. Now, we often see on the internet site this comment. We occasionally see an article that asks, guess who's going bankrupt? Guess who's going bankrupt? What they mean is, guess what federal agencies are going bankrupt? If you open the site, you'll find out that it's Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae. Guess what? This came up today. A careful analysis of the Treasury Department's agency financial report for fiscal year 2013 provides evidence the Obama administration stole investor money from Fannie Mae to fund Obamacare. So you wondered why they're going broke and where Obama found the money to fund his program. And mind, they spent $2 billion just trying to get their website up. Just trying to get the website up. It paid it to a woman who owned the company, who was a very close friend of Michelle Obama, and an associate of Michelle Obama when she was out of college as a lawyer and working. I mean, you talk about corruption and draining the swamp. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac probably should be closed down just to heal the hemorrhaging of more money, because they're not working. If GIs want a loan, they can go to the VA. VA loans work very well. Guided by a CPA, a certified public accountant, who worked for 2 years for a major U.S. firm, accounting firm, as an outside auditor for Freddie Mac, has documented in the Treasury Department's 2013 financial reports how the Obama administration diverted into Obamacare billions of dollars that the Treasury confiscated from investors in Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae, the earnings that they were making. On 17 December 2012, this goes back, we're going back 5 years now, the Obama administration finalized the amendment of the Treasury Department's senior preferred stock agreement with Fannie and Freddie that deprived private and institutional investors of their legally due dividend payments. We'll pick this up on the other side. I think you ought to know what's important. So it's time for another few words from our sponsors. So we'll see you.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia, Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we make everything better. And no matter what vehicle you drive, our new state-of-the-art service center can keep you running like new, with factory-trained technicians, genuine parts, and value pricing. Even convenient Saturday service hours and online appointments. So if you want to extend the life of your vehicle, let the Days service experts help. Your better day is just ahead at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where we service whatever you drive.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
Well, good morning all. Welcome back to this final segment. We were going on, this is FYN TV, North Georgia's only live online internet. If you want to call in, we'll call it a talk show. We were going on about Obama administration stealing money from Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae to support Obamacare. The department's senior planned stock agreement with Freddie and Fannie provided private and institutional investors deprived private and institutional investors of their legally due dividend payments. And what was the result of that? Well, it enabled the Treasury Department to confiscate billions of dollars in Freddie and Fannie earnings in what now is known as the net worth sweep. The net worth sweep. It's just same thing they did with Social Security that I talked about the other day. There was that pile of money and they found a way to get it and put it in the general fund. That's why we have a Social Security problem to this very day. The analysis begins with a table entitled, and I'll quote, Summary Financial Information, and it's presented on page 26 of the Treasury Department's Agency Financial Report for fiscal year 2013. So it's documented, and you can find it on the internet. It's out there. Note that the line item GSEs, the non-entity costs, what's that mean? That's revenue. That's money coming in. That records the flow into Treasury of the funds confiscated by the Obama administration, recorded in 2012 as a cost to the Treasury of $5.3 billion, billion with a B. Can you imagine that? How about that? This line item dramatically reverses in 2013 to reflect the net worth sweep revenue inflow from the two government sponsor entities, amounting to $126 billion. What a pot of money. What a pot of money. And they just stole it. They just stole it. And Congress never stepped in the way. Congress never stepped in the way. Of course, it wasn't until 2014 that we had a Republican House. No, it was 2012, wasn't it? 2012, we had a Republican House. This occurred in 2012. 2014, we got the Senate. 2014, we got the House. 2016, we got the Senate and the presidency. But anyway, what have our Republicans done? I was reviewing some of my previous essays 2 and 3 years ago on this subject, and I come to discover that we haven't changed at all. The Republican Party hasn't changed at all. They're still not to be trusted. And this nonsense that Ryan has got with this 3-step plan, Tom Cotton on the radio this morning, Senator Tom Cotton from Arkansas said there is no 3-step plan. When they pass this one, that's as far as it's going to get. And it's not going to get out of the Senate. They're playing politics. Those people are corrupt. And I think that any congressman, this is my opinion, who votes this bill, Paul Ryan's bill, to send it to the Senate, those guys should be primaried the next time they come up, their next election. Why do you suppose we have 2-year terms for representatives so we can get rid of them when they prove crooked or incompetent or incapable or don't do what we damn well send them there to do and tell them to do? That's why there's 2-year terms. You can only do so much damage in 2 years, and they have 1 vote out of 400 each congressman. So they think they're important and they have more influence if they get a committee chair or something like that, or sit on the committee. So anyway, we still have corruption in the ranks. We have to look at it, consider it for what it is, and take advantage of the opportunities when they are presented to us to make changes. Now, our congressman here, nice fellow, preacher, Air Force officer, soft-spoken Southern gentleman, and a very nice guy. But damn, he got a committee chair. Now, why would he get a committee chair if he wasn't in tune? I think that Paul Ryan might be in trouble. I think Paul Ryan, I'm just take my word for this, if this bill fails, if the Republicans cannot do what they promised to do, and this bill fails, I think Paul Ryan would be looking for a job back up in wherever he comes from, Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, I forgot. It's just not right that we allow these people, you know, this is not a Democrat, any longer a Democrat versus Republican contest going on in America right now. It's the elite politicians versus the rest of America. That's the contest going on. And we got to be aware of that. And I'll have more on that anon when I can put it down in understandable terms. But we're fighting. The Republicans are fighting among themselves. The Democrats over here making their noise that nothing's going to pass, and they're talking the same thing. They want to kill that bill. They want to kill that bill. They want to kill the Obamacare bill. The anti-Obamacare bill. They don't want to replace it and restore it. They have it, and we do. And we do. And this thing, I think, that Paul Ryan brought up the other day is a travesty. I don't believe it's workable. I think it's a ruse to confuse us. They talk about 14 million people will lose insurance coverage. Well, those 14 million, a large percentage of them are people who were mandated to buy insurance, whether they wanted it or not, and couldn't afford to pay for it anyway because of the high deductible. Yes, they're going to lose that insurance. Then they can go out and buy what the hell they want if the repeal and replace goes into effect. But this thing that Ryan's got has none of that. Has none of that. They're right. I think these people are right. They're going to lose their shirts. Okay, let's move on to something else that has been bothering me. We know occasionally about the several spies we have come out of the CIA and the FBI, and Snowden, a contractor in NSA. I mean, these people appear and reveal themselves for one reason or another. But has anybody heard of Harold T. Martin III? Harold T. Martin III, a 20-year veteran of the intelligence community, is accused of carrying out the biggest theft of classified information in U.S. history and is causing leaders in Capitol Hill and in the office of the DNI, the Director of National Security, to re-examine exactly how the government defends against insider threats. Now, Donald Trump, Harold has been arrested and indicted. Now, Donald Trump said Trump Tower had been wiretapped. That's a loose configuration of the fact that he believes that his communications are penetrated, because we already know they have. His conversation with the Japanese Prime Minister right after taking office, his conversation with the Australian Prime Minister right after he took office as president, these conversations were immediately leaked to the public. Sure, somebody's tapping him. Yes, they're listening in to him. Is it some spy agency? Probably not. It's NSA. They get everything. NSA gets everything. Everything. Anything they want, NSA gets. They have all of Hillary's emails. You can't hide that stuff. They got it all. It's all there. But anyway, with other battles on the immediate horizon, including most notably an investigation into the alleged hacking by the Russians aimed at the 2016 presidential election. And I say that because it's written here, but the Russians didn't hack the election. They hacked the DNC computer of John Podesta, which revealed all. Revealed all. And they also got to Debbie Wasserman Schultz into her activities. And I'll tell you what, another way that this stuff was revealed. The Congress hired, and I talked about this a couple of weeks ago, the Congress actually hired 3 men to run their internet operation and their email operation. The 3 of them were Muslims. And now they've been fired, and they're under arrest, I'm sure, because they have leaked a lot of the stuff between offices, and Debbie Wasserman Schultz hired them. So where do you think the leaks came from? An inside job? Could be. Insiders are everywhere. And Obama put them in there. Why would the Congress want anybody who's a Muslim running their security network under any circumstances? I don't understand it. I simply don't understand it. The 52-year-old Harold T. Martin, 20-year veteran, stole irreplaceable classified material on a breathtaking scale, roughly amounting to 50 terabytes worth of digital information, a federal prosecutor said during a detention hearing last October. That's how long it's been. The investigation into Martin's career conduct is ongoing, said the FBI spokesman, on an internet site called the Cyber Scoop. You might try it and see what you can get there. A separate request for comment sent to the NSA went unanswered. So that was the agency he had to have worked for, was the NSA. The fact that the Martin case occurred at all is a sign of a serious security failure, not just in itself, but also failing to learn lessons from past breaches. Martin, a longtime defense contractor, most recently employed by Booz Allen Hamilton, was originally arrested in August at his home in Glen Burnie, Maryland, where investigators found media storage devices containing sensitive content, and that means classified information, and piles of classified documents. This material was spread throughout Martin's home, his garden shed, and his private vehicle. You're seeing insider threat issues with what seems to be an increased frequency, said Brett Friedman, counsel for the Senate Intelligence Committee's Democrats. From a congressional oversight perspective, the attention thus far, at least with respect to both Edward Snowden and Julian Assange, it becomes evident somehow they've been getting information. Maybe this was the source. We will certainly know that if Julian Assange gets fresh information for his WikiLeaks. Now, some say it is said that WikiLeaks is a Soviet FSB, the old KGB operation to expose those documents. But that's something we got to be aware of and be prepared for, and understand. If Julian Assange comes out with new material, then this fellow, Martin III, Harold T. Martin III, wasn't alone. Trump said he's got to drain the swamp. I mean, we've got to drain the swamp. And I remember back in the 60s when I was in the tradecraft, part of it was doing background investigations, and you had to do background investigations to know whether and you do it by detecting lies in statements, and when you interview somebody and he says one thing and they're all interviewed, and then you find a document that contradicts what he said, well, that's a clue. If you find a second incident where he said one thing and found a document that said something else, that's a coincidence. But the third time that happens, well, then you know you're encountering enemy action. You might have a spy there. What we face today is investigators uncovering bad data and being told, well, you can't use it because it's Islamophobic or it's racist. So what's the use of having background investigations if you're not going to act to save America? If you're not going to act to save America, then what's the use of doing background? Just let anybody have a job and do whatever they want. You know, there's a way to bring this to the end. This guy, if he's convicted, should be shot. Snowden, if he comes back to America, for all the good that he revealed, should be shot. That's absolutely. That's how you deal with traitors. Hang them or shoot them, kill them, and let them hang out there for everybody to see. Well, anyway, I'm at the end of my hour. Didn't even get time to do my special, my opinion, my essay, but I'll get on to that. We'll have something more tomorrow. But this stuff is just too important to ignore. It goes beyond just the daily news, who's doing what, who says what. Of course, the repeal and replace of Obamacare is really the major thing in our news today. So we got to keep the Republican politicians' feet to the fire. Simple as that. We got to do it. Anyway, this is George McClellan from FYN TV in LJ, Georgia. Lovely Gilmer County, where it's colder than the dickens outside, and wind warnings are up, but no rain or snow. So I say see you tomorrow at 10:30. Y'all come back now, yeah?